seek it, you will find unanimous consent.
Really not. No. Okay.
Statements by members.
Alors, l'honorable député de...
The honourable member for Lac-Saint-Jean.
I guess he's got 30
Shall
seconds.
I continue? Mr. Speaker, well, I have 1 minute left. I guess I'll continue with my speech after a question period. Well, I don't even need notes anymore, Mr. Speaker, when I rise to speak to this bill. Because, as I was saying, we did our homework. We worked hard at committee, like serious parliamentarians. A majority of members of the committee adopted amendments that would have meant that the bill was improved from when it was originally introduced at committee. But what we're seeing here today is that this minority governing party is acting like it thinks it's in the majority. They keep telling us that they got a strong mandate from Canadians, but actually no, they got a minority mandate. Do they not realize this? I mean, today's the budget. I hope that they realize that they're in a minority position. But anyway, I'll finish up later. The member will have around 8 minutes and 15 seconds.
Déclaration de députés, statements by members. The honourable member for Cardigan.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to congratulate the Surrey Lions Club on celebrating their 70th anniversary. It's a remarkable milestone for one of Prince Edward Island's most dedicated service clubs. Since 1954, the Surrey Lions have showed dedication and community pride. From supporting local families, improving accessibility, to organizing blood donor clinics and youth programs, their impact can be felt right across the riding. Each Christmas, the Lions lead their Hallmark initiative, the Christmas Box program, led by Lion Peter Bortine, with support from daycares, schools, senior clubs, Girl Guides, and countless community donors. Over 130 families receive boxes filled with all the fixings for a turkey dinner, including gifts for the children. Under the leadership of President Ari Hogenberg, Secretary Alan Campbell, Treasurer Brian Dingwall, and with special recognition to Elwood Ching for over 50 years of service, their motto, "We Serve," is a way of life for this club. To every member, past and present, thank you for 70 years of community service.
The honourable member for Peace River, Westlock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm honoured to invite all members to a luncheon tomorrow at noon at 853 131 Queen Street to mark the 11 years since the royal assent of PASEPA, the Protection of Community and Exploited Persons Act. This lunch will be hosted by Andrea and Kathy, longtime anti-exploitation advocates. Through PASEPA, Canada's Parliament recognized that prostitution is a form of sexual exploitation and affirmed that no one ever needs to be bought or sold or exploited for sex here in Canada. Andrea and Kathy are here to provide copies of their book, When Men Buy Sex, Who Really Pays, to every single parliamentarian. This book elevates the voices of survivors. Andrea and Kathy are also joined this week by the National Council of Women in Canada, Cease Trafficking Canada, Persons Against Non-State Torture, Bridge North, Empower Men, and Men Ending Trafficking. Together, all of these groups are saying that we should not turn away from exploitation. They will not remain silent, and neither will we. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank Andrea and Kathy for their relentless work to end sexual.
Honourable member for Humber River, Black Creek.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to denounce the heartbreaking case of Ms. Zara Shabazz Tahiri, a 67-year-old Iranian electrical engineer and human rights advocate who has been sentenced to death by the Iranian regime. Her so-called trial lasted 10 minutes and was conducted via video conference. She was prohibited from retaining a lawyer and sentenced to death based on ridiculous evidence, a piece of cloth bearing the words "Woman, Resistance, Freedom," and an unpublished voice message. This is not justice. It is a cruel and calculated act of repression by a regime that continues to persecute its own people, especially women, for daring to speak out. Hers is just one of a multitude of similar cases this year alone in Iran. We stand in solidarity with all of the Iranian community who continue to suffer under the brutality of this mullah regime and call for freedom and democracy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Yorkton Melville.
A good government has a moral and legal duty to safeguard children from all harms. The Supreme Court of Canada has failed to uphold that duty. Its decision to strike down a 1-year mandatory minimum sentence for child sex abuse material offences is sickening. Let's examine how the scales of justice balanced out in this case. On one side of the equation, 2 individuals made conscious decisions to contribute to and benefit from the torment and torture of hundreds of children. Instead of receiving a punishment that fits their crimes, they may very well walk free after less than a year in prison. On the other side, their innocent child victims are burdened for life with the scars of violent sexual abuse. They will never recover. Silence from this government says they care more about the charter rights of perverts and pedophiles than those of precious children. A Conservative government will use the notwithstanding clause to overturn the Supreme Court's ruling. We will fight for the strongest laws against child exploitation. Speaker, our children deserve nothing less.
It's ridiculous. How do you get 6 months for that?
The honourable member for
And on good behavior, he'll probably be out in 3.
Mr. Speaker, today I would like to draw your attention to a beacon of science located in the heart of my riding of Beauport-Limoilou, the VITAM Research Centre, a centre dedicated to sustainable health. VITAM is inspired by a simple but powerful vision: a healthy mind in a healthy body, living in a healthy environment on a healthy planet. At the head of this institution is an exceptional man, Professor and researcher Jean-Pierre Després. Through his work, VITAM is moving forward into new areas, integrating human, social, and environmental dimensions. The VITAM Centre perfectly illustrates the best that Beauport-Limoilou has to offer, a community of excellence, innovation, and compassion, where science is put to work for the benefit of people. I sincerely thank the researchers and the entire VITAM team for their exemplary dedication and contribution to the health of our population and the advancement of scientific knowledge in Quebec and in Canada.
The honourable member for Simcoe North.
Andrew Moore was a warrior for more competition in the financial services sector and the most respected and passionate advocate for open banking. Under his leadership, Equitable Bank grew from $3 billion in assets to over $125 billion. It was deemed Canada's challenger bank. Andrew and EQ Bank challenged more than their competitors. They challenged the system, they challenged bureaucracy, and they challenged the rules. His persistence on open banking always focused on the benefits to consumers: increasing access, enhanced service, and of course, lower costs. A few months ago, Andrew unexpectedly passed away. It is regrettable that the system here moved too slow for him to see it to fruition. But the road to open banking has been paved with the stones that Andrew has laid. While the business community grieves a remarkable leader, we cannot help but think of the family who Andrew cared for deeply and treasured enormously. You will be missed, Andrew, but your legacy will endure.
The honourable member for Hamilton West, Ancaster Dundas.
I've lived in Hamilton my whole life. I'm incredibly proud of our city's heritage as Canada's industrial centre and the heart of steelmaking. That spirit of hard work and resilience defines Hamilton. Illegal and unnecessary U.S. tariffs on steel threaten our industry and the livelihoods of hardworking Hamilton families. How we respond isn't about politics. It's about people, it's about workers, it's about the future of Hamilton and all Canadian industry. We need every political party, all levels of government, working together, united, to defend Canadian workers and build new opportunities. That's why our government is forging new markets for Canadian steel and investing in good jobs right here at home, ensuring Hamilton remains at the heart of Canada's industrial future. We can't control an unpredictable U.S. government, but we can control how we respond, as we always have, with unity, determination, and pride. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Pitt Meadows, Maple Ridge.
Mr. Speaker, after 10 years of Liberal rule, Canadians can no longer afford life in our own country. Under this Prime Minister, we are seeing empty bank accounts, empty fridges and stomachs. Food bank use in Toronto doubled since 2023, and the situation is just as dire in BC. Instead of the fastest growing economy in the G7, we have the slowest. The Liberals have given us skyrocketing deficits and debt, factory shutdowns and vanishing jobs. Canadians are working harder but getting poorer. Every dollar that this government spends raises taxes, inflation, and the cost of living. Conservatives demand a budget that makes life affordable again, one that eliminates hidden taxes on food, work, home building, investments, and gets our deficit under control. Enough with the empty words, enough with the broken promises. It's time to strengthen Canada. It's time to make life affordable for all.
The Honourable Member for Drummond. Mr. Speaker, every year, on November 11th, we have a duty to remember. For those who served in the military, for those who made the ultimate sacrifice in conflicts in which this country has participated over the decades. This year is a very special one for me. I've been offered the honorary presidency of the Drummondville Legion 51 Poppy Campaign. I accepted with pride, Mr. Speaker, because, as the member for Drummond, I'm well placed to understand the extent to which our veterans need the support of their Legion. I accepted because I believe that we collectively owe them recognition and respect for their service. Poppies are everywhere up until November 11th, in grocery stores, shopping malls, in all kinds of stores, and they cost very little for what they bring. A small donation at your discretion according to your means, nothing more. But of all, Mr. Speaker, the poppy is worn close to the heart, because that is where we cherish the memory of the thousands of men and women who have stood as a bulwark to defend our values and our democracy.
The Honourable Member for Toronto St. Paul's.
Mr. Speaker, on this historic day, I rise to recognize the life and work of the late Andrew Moore, who served 18 years as the CEO of EQ Bank and was a longtime resident of Toronto St. Paul's, who we lost suddenly this summer. Our thoughts are with his wife Megs and his 3 children, Dan, Kat, and Sarah. Andrew was a true Canadian pioneer, driven by an unwavering belief that banks should, above all else, serve their clients and serve Canadians. He was an innovator that advocated for greater competition in the financial industry to give Canadians more options and more control over their finances. At this moment of profound economic disruption and opportunity, let us follow the example Andrew set, that Canadian innovation, Canadian ingenuity can help us navigate this moment and create a stronger and more resilient economy for all Canadians. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for St. John, St. Croix.
Mr. Speaker, Liberals measure success by how many tax dollars are spent. They say the number in today's budget is what matters. Yet Canadians know why more debt financing is being offered. Liberal policies have failed to build, empower, or protect our country. Conservatives are calling for an affordable budget for affordable lives. We want affordable lives for the 1 in 5 Canadian food bank users who work hard but cannot afford to feed themselves. We want affordable lives for seniors who are being crushed by higher prices because of the industrial carbon tax and the food packaging tax. We want affordable lives for the parents who are forced to spend $800 more this year on food compared to last year.
That's right.
The Prime Minister said, judge him by the prices at the grocery store. Canadians have judged. They want no more of the same. They want change, Mr. Speaker.
Hear, hear.
The Honourable Member for La Salle-et-Marne-Verdun. Mr. Speaker, with municipal elections having taken place across Quebec, and even if the results aren't official yet, I would like to warmly congratulate the new mayor of Montreal, Soraya Martinez-Ferrada, and all the new mayors and elected officials in La Salle-et-Marne-Verdun and the Southwest.
With all of you for La Salle-et-Marne-Verdun's benefit, je veux aussi...
I would also like to thank all of the candidates who ran for office. Our democracy is based on a diversity of choices and on ideas that guide our various levels of government. Our fellow citizens are fortunate to be able to count on such dedicated and courageous people to represent them.
Voters who participated, thank you. Our democracy thrives when we all engage. Know that I'm looking forward to working with our newly elected municipal representative. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Hamilton East, Stony Creek.
Our justice system hit absolute rock
bottom this past Friday when the Supreme Court ruled that there will be no mandatory minimums for monsters who access and possess child sexual abuse content. This comes after 10 years of soft on crime liberal policies. Let me be clear. We're talking about two monsters that were in possession of hundreds of images and videos that were made by torturing innocent children. Conservatives immediately announced that we would use the notwithstanding clause to overturn this very dangerous ruling. Monsters that possess child sexual abuse content are not victims, they are criminals. We should lock them up and throw away the key. As a father and a parent, I find this disgusting.
Here, here.
The innocence of our children should be protected at all costs. If we cannot protect our children, my fellow members, then who are we? The Prime Minister has remained silent on this issue, and Canadians want to know why.
The Honourable Member for Terrebonne. Mr. Speaker, today I want to highlight a program that is transforming the lives of our children, the National School Food Program. Every day, this program provides thousands of students in my riding and across the country with a healthy, free, nutritious meal. It's not just a social measure. It's a real investment in academic success, in public health, and in equal opportunity. It's an investment in the future of our young people, because young people with full stomachs can succeed. I am very proud of this program. It's a tool to help build a society where every child can learn on a full stomach. I'd like to commend the exceptional work of the schools, community organizations, and volunteers who make this program possible. Organizations like the Breakfast Club, which works across Quebec. Thanks to their commitment, we are collectively affirming that eating well at school is a right and not a privilege. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Heritage.
Canadians want an affordable budget and an affordable life, not a Prime Minister who profits in secret while people line up at food banks in record numbers. $6.5 billion. That's how much experts say that the Prime Minister's former company, Brookfield, sheltered in tax havens over the last 5 years offshore. The Prime Minister helped set up 3 multi-billion-dollar investment funds in Bermuda and the Cayman Islands, funds he stands to benefit directly from through bonus pay. Canadians deserve to know that their Prime Minister is making decisions in the public interest, not his own financial interest. Liberals can keep protecting their boss. Conservatives will stand with taxpayers. We'll expose the abuse. We will defend hardworking Canadians. And we will hold the Prime Minister accountable for putting his profit ahead of their lives.
The Honourable Member for Burnaby Central.
Mr. Speaker, this week we are honored to welcome members of Burnaby Firefighters, Local 323 to Ottawa, the brave women and men on the front line of public safety. Bienvenue à Ottawa. I remember visiting Fire Station 8 in Burnaby, a modern, purpose-built facility where our firefighters have the best tools to return home safely after every call. Day after day, they face danger with courage and compassion, often at great personal risk. Beyond emergencies, they are pillars of our community, supporting families in need and volunteering for local charities. I want to recognize President Doug Petit for his years of service and for leading by example through every challenge. On behalf of the people of Burnaby Central, I honor these women and men whose courage turned fear into hope and duty into commitment. Mr. Speaker, let's stand together and applaud our true heroes, and let's make sure they are well protected by the law of our country. Merci.
Oral questions, questions orales. The Honourable Member for Regina Capel.
Mr. Speaker, every dollar this Liberal government spends comes out of the pockets of hardworking Canadians in either inflation or tax hikes. And today we'll find out just how many dollars this government is going to take out of the pockets of Canadians. There is going to be one difference today. After today, every tax rate, every piece of red tape, every rule, regulation, and every bit of wasteful spending will be exactly how this Prime Minister wants it. Conservatives have been clear. We will not support a costly budget that makes life more expensive for Canadians. So instead of asking Canadians to pay more for a big bloated bureaucracy, why not bring in an affordable budget that lowers prices for everyone?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Then it's a great day for the official opposition because we are going to have an affordable budget. We are going to have an historic budget that creates opportunity for young people and Canadians from coast to coast to coast, building this country, making sure that government works for people, invests in their communities. And, Mr. Speaker, we look forward to having the Conservatives support this great budget.
The honourable member for Regina Capel.
That would be an 11th hour change because this government has been telling young Canadians that they're going to have to sacrifice more so that government gets bigger and bigger. They even try to deny that their hidden taxes on food makes life more expensive. They call those hidden taxes imaginary. Let me tell you, the farmer that has to pay the industrial carbon tax on his new equipment or on the fertilizer he buys has to pass those costs on to Canadians, and food prices go up as a result. He doesn't have the option to not pay the industrial carbon tax on farm equipment and fertilizer. So a concrete measure to help bring prices down would be to scrap the industrial carbon tax. Will they do that today?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Here we go again, Mr. Speaker, with these imaginary taxes. There is no tax on food. There will never be a tax on groceries. And great news for the opposition, today's budget won't have any of these imaginary taxes in them either. What this budget will have are historic investments in young people, in building this country, in building communities, and in making this country stronger, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Regina Capel.
Farmers can call up CRA and say that the carbon tax on farm equipment and fertilizer is just imaginary, or maybe they can write imaginary checks to pay for them, Mr. Speaker. But it's not just the industrial carbon tax that's driving up food prices, it's also the Liberal fuel standard. When truckers take the food from farms to factories to grocery stores, they can't tell Revenue Canada that those taxes are imaginary. They have to pay that extra 17 cents a litre. So again, to help bring prices down for working Canadians, why not scrap the fuel standards that are driving up food costs?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Mr. Speaker, this is more about the talk of imaginary taxes coming from the other side. Right. But you know what? If you want to talk about clean fuel regulations, you don't even have to just take my word for it that it's not a tax. You can check the Canola Digest because they point out this provides opportunities for farmers. When we're talking about biofuels, this is an important place. It's an opportunity for canola farmers. I hope that they support it, and I hope they support our budget.
The Honourable Member for Louis Saint Laurent à Kiawenrak. Mr. Speaker, in less than 2 hours, the budgets will table their 10th deficit. In 2015, they were elected by saying 3 small deficits and no more deficits after 2019. But the reality was that the debt has doubled under the Liberals. The cost of housing has doubled under the Liberals. And the Prime Minister told young people, you'll have to sacrifice even more. Mr. Speaker, instead of asking young people to sacrifice their future, instead of having an expensive election, why not have an affordable budget for an affordable life for Canadians? The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House, the member across the way, will have a great day today because, yes, we'll have an affordable budget that protects the most vulnerable, that invests in our youth, that invests in our world, that invests in communities from coast to coast to coast, a budget that will create opportunities, that will build our country, to build the strongest G7 economy. So I would like to ask the member to support us today. The Honourable Member for Louis Saint Laurent à Kiawenrak. Mr. Speaker, all Canadians want a budget that will protect their cost of living. People are hurting with regards to food. Inflation has doubled the price of some food. 2.5 million Canadians have to go to food banks. The Prime Minister was voted by saying he would be judged on the cost of food. And after 10 years of Liberal governments, Sylvain Charlebois, a professor, says that if we have a look at the G7, we are currently the only G7 country that has had 4 consecutive months of food price increases. Will the Canadians finally have an affordable budget? The Honourable Secretary of State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our affordable budget will have historic investments that will strengthen Canada. It will strengthen families and Canadians from coast to coast to coast. These investments will allow us to create jobs and careers for young people. It will allow us to build more affordable housing for young Canadians, and it will allow us to protect support measures that help families. Our government will table a budget that will build, that will protect, and that will strengthen Canada. And I cannot wait for the members across the way to vote for it. The Honourable Member for Louis Saint-Laurent à Cowenrac. Mr. Speaker, we've had a proposal tabled for months that will reduce the cost of food, and that's abolishing the industrial carbon tax. Mr. Speaker, food doesn't just grow on trees. It has to be harvested from the trees. It has to be processed. Thereafter, it also has to be packaged and sent to stores, and that is where the industrial carbon tax kicks in. Mr. Charlebois, the same professor that I mentioned before, said yesterday before parliamentary committee, saying that the costs have gone up. The difference between us and the States have gone up because we have an industrial carbon tax and they don't. End of intervention. Inaudible for the interpreter. The Honourable Minister for the Environment. There are always people that talk about imaginary taxes, and they continue to talk about imaginary taxes, but let's get back down to earth. We've tabled a responsible budget that will tackle affordability, that will help Canadians because we support Canadians. We are ready to work hard for Canadians to build a strong future, and I hope that the Conservatives will support our budget to do that as well. The Honourable Member for Saint-Jean. Mr. Speaker, the Liberals have announced that they are scrapping their plan to plant 2 billion trees. This proves once again that they haven't understood a thing. If everyone was laughing at them for this programme, it wasn't because the programme was bad and it needed to be cancelled. It was because the Liberals were incapable of planting the damn trees in the first place. Everyone was laughing at them because year after year they missed their target. Today we learned that they are abandoning the programme. Instead of correcting their incompetence, they simply just to give up. Is that really the Liberal approach?
Minister of Natural Resources.
Mr. Speaker, our budget today will seize a generational opportunity to transform our economy through ambitious investments, rigorous discipline, ensuring every dollar goes to help build the strongest economy in the G7, and we look forward to sharing that with the member opposite.
The Honourable Member for Saint-Jean. I don't think he was answering from the right sheet, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals are cutting their 2 billion tree planting programme. That's what we're talking about. Just as they've cut carbon pricing, just as they are allowing their own environmental assessments to be circumvented through Bill C5. All the environmental measures put in place under Justin Trudeau, as meagre and insufficient as they were, are being abandoned one by one. It's setback after setback after setback. You'd think you were watching the Conservatives play, Mr. Speaker. So the question arises, do the Liberals actually believe in climate change? The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House. My esteemed colleague across the way will have to wait for the budget, but what I can confirm now is that we will continue to ensure that Canada is a key player against climate change. Instead of providing setbacks, we will continue to progress in Canada. I hope that the member doesn't want us to stop projects in Quebec. But, Mr. Speaker, what I can confirm is that we will invest in our youth, invest in our regions, and invest for our country's progress. The Honourable Member for Repentigny. Mr. Speaker, the Liberals are announcing the abandonment of their strategy to plant 2 billion trees today. But it's symbolic to abandon the only green measure remaining from the Trudeau era. It's ironic that it's happening on a day of a budget that is dangerous for the environment. The budget will detail the federal government's new strategy called climate competitiveness. If this means cutting carbon pricing, cutting electric vehicle quotas, cutting tree planting and encouraging the expansion of oil and gas, shouldn't we just rename it climate capitulation? The Honourable Minister for the Environment.
The block is making me fall asleep.
Mr. Speaker, the member across the way should know full well, because we've talked about it many times, that our government will continue to fight against climate change. Not only that, we will continue to build a strong Canada, because that's what Canadians want. They want to see that we have significant projects that means good jobs for the youth. That means a strong country, and we will continue to do so. And I really hope that they will be supportive of our budget.
Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes.
Every dollar this Liberal government spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians through higher taxes and higher inflation. And today at 4 o'clock, we're going to find out just how much more they're going to take out of the pockets of Canadians. And Canadians could be paying $300 to $400 more in grocery costs because of their food packaging tax. And Canadians are looking for an affordable budget for an affordable life. So will the Prime Minister instead scrap his food packaging tax instead of trying to engineer a costly election with his costly budget?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Financial Institutions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is an historic day for our country. Today, our government will table a generational disciplined budget. We will transform our economy from reliance to resilience and build our economy in the strongest in the G7. We will spend less on government operation and invest more in capital projects and build our economy into the strongest economy in the G7. I hope the party opposite cuts the rhetoric and will support us and vote for our budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes.
We've heard this same tune from these Liberals before, and the result? 2.2 million Canadians visiting food banks. Their industrial carbon tax is another example of driving up costs for everyday Canadians. They're paying more and they're getting less. We want to know why they continue with these taxes, like their food packaging tax, that even Deloitte, we know they love consultants, and Deloitte is saying that it's raising the price of produce by 30%. So will the Prime Minister, while he's still got a chance, commit, instead of having a costly election, to having an affordable budget for affordable lives for Canadians?
The Honourable Secretary of State.
Mr. Speaker, there is no food packaging tax. The party opposite is obsessed with imaginary taxes. Let's talk affordability, Mr. Speaker. Let's talk about cutting taxes for 22 million Canadians. No comments on that. Let's talk about cutting the tax for first-time homebuyers. No comments on that. Let's talk about cutting the consumer carbon tax. No comments on that, Mr. Speaker. On this side of the House, we are focused on affordability for Canadians. Canadians made a choice in the last election. They chose our side. They chose our Prime Minister. They rejected that leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You should repay all the carbon tax you took in the first place.
Kildonan St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, every dollar the Liberals spends, we know, comes from the pockets of Canadians, which drives up taxes and inflation. And now they're making it worse with their hidden food taxes. For example, the Liberal packaging plastic ban will add $5.6 billion to food prices because, of course, it forces producers to use more costly packaging that doesn't preserve food as well, which, of course, means shorter shelf lives, more waste, and higher food prices. So will the Prime Minister stop trying to engineer this costly election with his costly budget and instead scrap this $5.6 billion hidden food tax, Mr. Speaker?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, as my colleagues have said, there is no tax. It's an imaginary tax. There is no tax on food packaging in Canada.
For Kildonan St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, the experts are telling us that these food packaging taxes will add $5.6 billion, and that's just one of them. They're also forcing the food industry to redesign food labels, of all things, which will add an additional $8 billion to the cost of food. Canadians aren't asking the Liberals to redesign food labels, Mr. Speaker. They're asking for more affordable food. So will they scrap this hidden food tax and save Canadians some money?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Here it comes again. It's imaginary.
Speaker, there is no food packaging tax. There is no food labeling tax. There is no tax on groceries. These are imaginary taxes, and repeating these same lines is not going to make them real.
Member for Oshawa.
Mr. Speaker, every dollar the Liberals spend
comes straight out of the pockets of Canadians through higher taxes and the skyrocketing cost of living. The Liberals can gaslight and call fuel regulations tax imaginary all they want, but my neighbours in Oshawa will feel the hit up to 17 cents per litre more for gas. Will the Prime Minister stop trying to engineer a costly election with a costly budget and finally scrap the fuel regulations tax?
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Family.
We're going to stand up for Canadians every single day. We're going to invest in their futures. We're going to invest in the jobs that Canadians are talking about they want to take up. Mr. Speaker, this is a time when Canadians have pulled together to build Canada strong, and that's exactly what our budget's going to do. We're going to make sure the tools are there for every Canadian who is protecting this country. I hope these guys get on board.
The Honourable Member for Mégantic-l'Érable-Lotbinière. When the Liberal government spends a dollar comes out of the pocket of a Canadian because of higher taxes and Liberal inflation. Liberal hypocrisy has reached a peak. They are hiding taxes on the backs of families who are struggling to feed themselves. Yes, it is a hidden tax when they pass a $5.2 billion bill to Canadians by changing food packaging rules. Instead of tabling a costly budget this afternoon, will the Prime Minister abolish the packaging tax and give $5 billion back to families in an affordable budget for an affordable life? The Leader of the Government in the House. Mr. Speaker, all Canadians know that there is no packaging tax. There's no tax as is described by the member. There's no tax on groceries. These are imaginary taxes that the Conservatives are dreaming up. They do not exist. Canadians already know this. The Conservatives should probably know this as well. The Honourable Member for Mégantic-l'Érable-Lotbinière. There's nothing imaginary when mothers simply do not have the money to pay for milk, cheese, meat, everything they need to feed their children properly. For example, Mr. Speaker, the industrial carbon tax will cost them up to $1,000 in very real money every single year. Whilst they're wondering how they're going to pay for their groceries, the Prime Minister is trying to provoke a costly election with a costly budget. Why not think about families for once and simply cancel the industrial carbon tax instead? Because life is just becoming less and less affordable. The Honourable Minister for Industry. Mr. Speaker, it's not because my colleague keeps asking the same question that he should get a different answer. My point is that he is drumming up imaginary taxes, but he's also not referring to the fact that we have reduced taxes for the middle class, for example. In the next budget that will be tabled this afternoon before this House, we'll protect our jobs, we'll protect our economy, we'll protect our communities. We'll also be here to build our country, build our economy with great projects, major defence investments. Our budget will also be here to help Canadians. The Honourable Member for Saint-Hyacinthe-Bagot-Acton. Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister returns from a mission to Asia, let us remember that China trades heavily in products made with forced labour, including child labour. Canada's economic diversification must never be achieved at the expense of slavery and human rights abuses. The Bloc Québécois has tabled Bill C-251 to prevent any importation from regions suspected of using modern slavery unless the seller can prove that they do not profit from forced labour or child labour. Will the government support our bill? The Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank my honourable colleague for that question. Our government does not support forced labour at all. We will continue to defend human rights throughout the world, especially through multilateral organisations. At the same time, we will continue to invest in our economy and have bilateral relations when it is necessary for our country throughout the world. The Honourable Member for Lac-Saint-Jean. Mr. Speaker, the Chinese regime is guilty of genocide against the Uyghur and Turkic peoples in the Xinjiang. This genocide includes forced labor and child labor, whose blood and sweat are found in products such as cotton. This genocide has been recognized by this very House, but has not stopped the Prime Minister from courting China. The Bloc Québécois bill is simple. It mirrors what the United States is already doing to ban the import of products made with forced labor. The question is simple. Will they support the Bloc Québécois bill, yes or no? Unfortunately, I can't bring this to a vote, but I will hand it over to the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Mr. Speaker, Canada is incredibly preoccupied by the treatment of the Uyghur in China. The report was one essential step that raised very alarming factors of what's happening there. China still has not acted in a significant way to respond. Canada will continue to work with its partners, its international partners, to resolve this situation. Canada is here for human rights every single day through international organizations. That is a priority for us.
The honourable member for Newmarket Aurora.
Young Canadians are asking a simple question. What is left for me to sacrifice after a decade of failed Liberal policies? They're saying, I can't find a job, I'm delaying starting a family, I can't buy a home, I am living in my parents' basement. What is left to sacrifice, Prime Minister? And what is the Liberal government's response? We're going to mortgage your future with more generational debt. Will the Prime Minister stop breaking his promises, rein in his reckless spending, and finally deliver an affordable budget that gives young Canadians a fighting chance at an affordable life?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Children and Youth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today's budget will deliver historic investments to build Canada strong. This means strong families and strong communities from coast to coast to coast. Investments that will create good quality jobs and careers for young Canadians, that will build infrastructure, that will put more affordable homes within reach for young Canadians, and protect the supports that help families to get ahead. Your new government is putting forward a budget to build, protect, and empower Canadians and Canada, and I hope the members opposite will join us and support the budget.
Honourable member for Newmarket Aurora.
They have been saying those same words for over a decade, but life has only gotten harder. They call it an investment, but it's not. It is a mortgage on our youth's future. A 19-year-old girl from Halifax was on national news saying she can't afford groceries, she can't find work. That is the reality behind their so-called investments. Youth unemployment is at 15%, not because young people have given up, but because this Liberal government has given up on them. So will the Prime Minister stop asking young Canadians to sacrifice even more and deliver an affordable budget for an affordable life?
The Honourable Minister for Housing and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the member opposite, this government is taking action to make life more affordable for young Canadians. We are delivering on housing. You look across the country right now, average rents are down, mortgage rates are down, home prices are going down. That's benefiting young Canadians, and we're not stopping there, Mr. Speaker. We are doubling up on housing for young Canadians, making sure the first-time home buyers tax benefits up to $50,000, and we're going to deliver with Build Canada Homes, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Richmond Hill South.
This Liberal Prime Minister told young Canadians that they must make some sacrifices. Well, they've already had to sacrifice good-paying jobs and the dream of home ownership, and they've already paid the price as food costs keep going up. Liberal inflationary deficits throw fuel on the fire. A 19-year-old girl from Halifax said it best on national news. Quote, food insecurity is not good. Finding a job is even harder. Youth unemployment is now approaching 15%, the highest rate since 2010 coming out of the Great Recession. Will the Liberals stop asking young Canadians to make more sacrifices, finally keep their promises so young Canadians can have an affordable budget for an affordable home?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Labour.
I've traveled across this country, I've met with union leaders, I've met with workers, and they're excited about our plan to build big and build bold, build infrastructure project, build Canada Homes, because of the opportunities it creates. Opportunities to bring in high school students, opportunities to bring in apprentices, opportunities to invest in the next generation of skilled workers. Mr. Speaker, if the Conservatives want an affordable budget for an affordable life, they have the opportunity to vote for one today. Will they join us?
Honourable Member for Richmond Hill South.
Mr. Speaker, the only thing generational with Liberal deficits is the debt that the next generation must pay.
Exactly.
Liberal inflationary deficits are driving up the cost of everything. Young Canadians can't find jobs, they can't afford homes, and they can't even afford food. 25% of Canadians face food insecurity. They're sacrificing by cutting back on nutritious food. It's gone so bad that recipes for poverty potlucks and struggle meals, like those using hamburger helper and instant ramen, are now trending on social media. When will the Liberals finally stop breaking their promises, get spending under control, and deliver what young Canadians actually need? An affordable budget for an affordable life.
Secretary of State.
Again, those words, we keep hearing those words from the Conservatives, but the reality of the situation is that every time there's an opportunity to vote for measures that help Canadians, they vote against it. They vote against no to dental care. They vote against no to the National School Food Program, which they call garbage, Mr. Speaker. They said no to the increase of Canada Child Benefit, no to a tax cut that helps 22 million Canadians. While they keep saying no, our government is investing to help families, yes to lowering costs for Canadians, yes to building a stronger future for Canadians. So, Mr. Speaker, today they'll get another chance to vote for a budget that is affordable for Canadians. Will they join us?
The honourable member for Terra Nova, the Peninsulas.
Mr. Speaker, food insecurity is not good, and finding a job is even harder. Those are the words of a 19-year-old from Atlantic, Canada. Youth employment is skyrocketing, nearly 15%, and this Prime Minister have told Canadians they needed to make more sacrifices, but they've already sacrificed enough. Young people are having to sacrifice working in their hometown because they have to go away for work. This means that our kids will be fast sacrificing dinners with grandma. When will these Liberals get over their overspending, get spending under control so that the Canadians can have an affordable life and not get stuck with the bill?
Right. The Honourable Minister of Fisheries and Oceans.
Mr. Speaker, I'm so proud to be able to stand today in reference to the opposition member from Newfoundland and Labrador and talk about the measures that we are putting in place for young workers to train in construction, welders, the work that we need to build Canada strong, happening in our province. I was so proud to make that announcement last week. That's just one of the many measures, not to mention the programs for children and families. I really hope this member votes for the budget.
The member for Port Moody Coquitlam.
The world economy is shifting, and Canada must rise to meet this unprecedented moment. Global trade is in disarray, tariffs reshaping markets, and our largest trading partner increasingly unreliable. Budget 2025 is our chance to act. Can the Secretary of State for Financial Institutions and the CRA explain how Canada will meet this moment with a historic investment budget?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Financial Institutions.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the member for that great question. This is a transformational moment. We will pivot from an era of reliance to resilience. With Budget 2025, we're laying the groundwork of some of the investments, some of the biggest investment this country has seen since the Second World War. We will spend less in government operations. We will invest more in Canadians, invest more in Canada. This is our moment, Mr. Speaker, our time to build big, build bold, and build now. It's time to build Canada strong. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Foothills.
Inflation is up another 4% because of the Liberals' hidden industrial carbon tax and tax on food packaging. Now, the Liberals will like to say that these are just imaginary taxes, but experts at the Agriculture Committee yesterday confirmed not only are these taxes not imaginary, they are in fact driving up the price of groceries. And I want to quote Dr. Sylvain Charlebois, who said wholesale food prices have increased, and one of the factors driving this is the carbon tax. And so we are very concerned, and we expect food inflation to be a problem moving forward. So will the Prime Minister stop his inflationary budget and scrap his taxes on food so Canadians can afford?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment.
Mr. Speaker, once again, there is no tax on plastic food packaging. They can keep saying it if they want, but it doesn't make it true. Exist. But you know what is true? We are going to be tabling a budget today. It's going to support Canadians. It's an important, big moment for our country as we build our country and we build it well. I hope that the Conservatives will support us.
The honourable member for Foothills.
Well, imaginary things like Deloitte and Dr. Sylvain Charlebois have already confirmed what Canadians know. These are not imaginary taxes. They are struggling to pay these taxes every single day at the grocery store. The food professor said as a result of the industrial carbon tax and taxes on food packaging, Canada is the only G7 country where food inflation has increased for 4 straight months. And it's only going to get worse, which is scary when we have 2.2 million Canadians forced to use a food bank. Will the Prime Minister scrap his taxes on food so Canadians can afford to feed themselves?
Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, once again, these are imaginary taxes. They do not exist. There is no tax on food packaging. He can cite all of the imaginary people that he wants to cite. There are no taxes on food packaging. And good news, this budget won't include any either.
So the people are imaginary, the taxes are imaginary. It's all just
every
made up.
dollar this Liberal government spends comes straight from the pockets of hardworking Canadians. More government deficits mean higher taxes and more inflation, jacking up the cost of living already. Canadians are struggling. Nicole, a single mom from Oxford, works 2 jobs, 70 hours a week, barely sees her kids, and still can't make ends meet. These stories from like Nicole and others are now becoming the norm thanks to Liberal deficits. So instead of trying to cause a costly election on their costly budget, why won't they table an affordable budget for an affordable life?
The Honourable Minister for Indigenous Services.
Mr. Speaker, I want to highlight today that the opposition can offer Nicole and those single-parent households the support of a future that is based in today's budget that will be presented. Wow. My colleagues today have the chance to protect those very futures that they speak about, including those young Indigenous children, the fastest growing population who need us and depend on the programs that we have put in place. Canadians chose a Prime Minister with a vision that they trust. We hope the opposition will prioritize protecting Canadians' budgets that they need in this critical time. We know that we all...
The Honourable Member for Oxford.
Canadians have seen this nightmare before. Empty Liberal promises can't feed empty stomachs. When Liberals recklessly spend, it's Canadians who pay the price. Higher grocery prices, higher rents, more on gas, and the only thing that is growing in this Liberal economy are the lines at food banks, with over 2 million folks now visiting food bank in a single month. Yeah. Liberal deficits mean higher taxes, higher inflation, meaning life is more expensive for Canadians. So I'll ask again, instead of trying to cause a costly election on their costly budget, why won't they table an affordable budget for an affordable life?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Well, once again with the imaginary taxes, Mr. Speaker, but I'll tell you something that isn't imaginary, because I get to be the House Leader and actually see things that aren't imaginary. We are debating C4, which does 3 things. It cuts income taxes on every single person that pays income tax. It cuts the GST for first-time home buyers. And guess what? It gets rid of the carbon tax, Mr. Speaker. But these Conservatives play games and procedures and talk around these things to delay affordability measures that are quite real, not imaginary for Canadians. They should...
L'honorable député de Beauce.
The Honourable Member for Beauce. Mr. Speaker, Liberals are taking money out of Canadians' pockets with inflation caused by their deficits. This is threatening our children's future, which is unacceptable. This record-breaking deficit budget will destroy our children's dreams. That is unacceptable. The Liberals are also going to trigger a costly election with a costly budget. Why not present an affordable budget so that Canadians can have an affordable life? The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation. Well, it's very clear that each word that comes out of a Conservative member's mouth actually comes out of the Conservative leader's office. If they want to talk about the future, it's remarkable that when we see the lack of seriousness they show at question period, that Canadians chose a serious government that gives more purchasing power to the middle class, more opportunity to youth, that is creating more big projects to build our country For once, I would invite the Conservatives to show some ambition for Canada and to support us in this budget.
Honorable député de Beauce.
The Honourable Member for Beauce. Mr. Speaker, well, we are very nervous about what the Liberals are coming up with here. We were expecting $42 billion of deficit, but things are going to actually be much worse. This Liberal government is completely disconnected from reality. It is just spending and spending. Each dollar that the Liberals are spending is coming directly out of the pockets of people in my riding. Mr. Speaker, why not table an affordable budget to make Canadians' lives affordable? The Honourable Government House Leader. Well, it may not be in the notes that the Leader of the Conservatives just gave my colleague, but he should speak to his colleagues who have been slowing down the adoption of Bill C-4, which would lower taxes for all those who pay income tax in Canada, which lowers the GST on homes for first-time homebuyers, and which also eliminates the carbon tax. The member across the way should stop slowing down that bill. That will bring more affordability to all of Canada.
Kamloops Thompson-Nicola.
Mr. Speaker, I spent much of my legal career prosecuting internet offences against children. This included possession of child sexual abuse material. Let's be clear, victims often serve a psychological life sentence. Last week, the Supreme Court of Canada struck down the mandatory 1 year in jail for possession of child sexual abuse and exploitation material. The minister said today that he won't use the notwithstanding clause on this ruling. So the question is this: why are the rights of victims second and the rights of sex offenders first?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Combating Crime.
Mr. Speaker, through actions, we are standing up for victims of crime.
Hear, hear.
Plain and simple, Mr. Speaker, child abusers should face the toughest penalties under Canadian law. That's why we introduced C-4.
Even giving them the minimum sentence.
These are obviously important issues, and therefore we deserve important debate. So the Secretary of State, from the top.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The rights of victims are very important to this government. That is why we have been taking action. And let me make it very plain and simple to the Conservatives, Mr. Speaker. Child abusers should face the toughest penalties under Canadian law. That is why we introduced C-14. We're making reforms, sweeping reforms, Mr. Speaker, that make bail stricter, that make sentences tougher, and that make sure that child abusers stay behind bars. Mr. Speaker, we also introduced lawful access so that we can catch child predators and we can give law enforcement the tools that are needed, Mr. Speaker, but the Conservatives are against it.
You're not even giving
the Honourable
these guys the
Member for Kamloops Thompson-Nicola.
Mr. Speaker, Bill C-14 has nothing to do with mandatory minimums for those who possess and produce child sexual abuse and exploitation material. I have looked far too many victims in the eye to feel comfortable giving the answer that the minister just gave, Mr. Speaker. Victims don't want excuses, they want action. We often hear about charter rights for the accused, including pedophiles, but we don't hear about rights for the victims. If the minister has ruled out using the notwithstanding clause, what's his plan to take sex offenders off our streets?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Combating Crime.
Mr. Speaker, we've been taking action on this issue since day one. We introduced legislation called C-63 that made sexual offences online, but the Conservatives did not support it, Mr. Speaker. We brought lawful access provisions so that child pedophiles can be caught, Mr. Speaker, but the Conservatives did not support it.
So I'm interested in hearing this answer. So the Secretary of State... Secretary of State may continue.
Mr. Speaker, child abusers are amongst the most reprehensible in our society. That is why we've taken many measures like C-63, like C-14, and like lawful access provisions so that they can be caught in the first place, Mr. Speaker. We're also going to be bringing forward new
The Honourable Member for Charlebourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, the recent Supreme Court decision, which stated that 1 year of imprisonment for having accessed or possessed child sexual abuse material, saying that this was cruel and unusual punishment, is a real insult to the victims of these crimes. The Conservative government had hardened minimum sentences for this content. It's very clear that this government, and I wonder why, is more protecting the rights of pedophiles than the rights of children.
Secretary of State.
Mr. Speaker, we are all about protecting the rights of children.
That's right.
That is why we want to give law enforcement the tools that are needed to catch predators online. We brought forward tougher sentences for child offenders. These child abusers should be put behind bars, and that is exactly where we intend to keep them through C-14 and the new legislation that we're going to be tabling in this House this fall.
Hear, hear.
Honorable député de Bourassa.
The Honourable Member for Bourassa. Mr. Speaker, the global economy is at a critical moment. The international trade system is experiencing upheaval. And today, new tariffs seem like the rule rather than the exception. Our country is facing economic difficulties and more uncertainty. Our main trade partner is no longer as reliable as it used to be, which is making our economy go through a more precarious period. With Budget 2025 coming up, can the Minister for Canada-US Trade tell the House why this is a historic investment budget? The Honourable Minister for Canada-US Trade. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank our colleague for Bourassa for this question. This is a period of transformation, and we are laying the groundwork for significant investments, the most significant in Canada since the Second World War. Mr. Speaker, Canadians elected an ambitious government, a government that will take strong action to build a resilient economy. And the good news, Mr. Speaker, is that in just a few moments, the House of Commons will get all of that good news. I know that all parliamentarians are looking forward to it.
For Mission Mastery Abbotsford.
Mr. Speaker, every dollar the Liberal government spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians in the form of higher taxes and inflation. The Prime Minister tells young Canadians to sacrifice, yet Liberal insiders are thriving. Case in point, as Canadians give up on home ownership, this government handed out over $30 million in bonuses to 99% of housing agency executives, averaging $43,000 per bonus. Instead of trying to cause a costly election on a costly budget, why not an affordable budget for an affordable life?
Hear, hear.
The Honourable Minister for Housing and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This new government has a very credible plan for building affordable housing. We are focused on delivering that affordable housing. $13 billion has been committed in this new budget. We hope the Conservatives will support this if they care about affordable housing. But, Mr. Speaker, they've voted against every affordable housing measure for 10 years now.
That's right.
I don't expect a lot from them, but when Canadians, and they're raising it in the House here, young Canadians need affordable housing, we expect their support on this budget.
Honourable Member for Calgary Skyview.
Mr. Speaker, after 10 years, Liberal insiders have never had it so good. Canadians line up at food banks while this government lets $50 million IBM contract at CRA blow past $119 million. On track for $214 million. Young Canadians are told to sacrifice, so Liberal-linked insiders, consultants can get rich. Canadians are stuck paying the bill. Instead of a costly election on a costly budget, why not affordable budget for an affordable life by cancelling consultants?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Financial Institutions.
Mr. Speaker, I got great news to the party opposite. We have an affordability measure that maybe they may be interested in, Mr. Speaker. It's automatic federal benefits. Wow. Giving benefits to 5.5 million Canadians that need them the most. Canada Child Benefit, Disability Tax Credit, GST credit. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we are laser focused on affordability for Canadians. The other side continues with the rhetoric and same old slogans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Similkameen, South Okanagan, West Kootenay.
Mr. Speaker,
Every dollar of the Liberal government spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians in the form of higher taxes and inflation. The Prime Minister tells young Canadians they need to sacrifice. While more families than ever are lining up at food banks, this Liberal government is using Canadian tax dollars to fund a whopping $25 billion a year on outside consultants. Instead of trying to cause a costly election on a costly budget, why not an affordable budget for an affordable life?
Good question. The Honourable Secretary of State.
Mr. Speaker, this is an historic day for our House. I thought we'd all be together. This is a historic day for our country. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we deliver affordability for Canadians, cutting taxes for 22 million Canadians. We cut the tax for GST for first-time home buyers. We are focused on affordability, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we will deliver for Canadians. We got a mandate on April 28th to deliver affordability. The other side has handed one sheet around all question period. Same old rhetoric, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Prescott Russell Cumberland.
Mr. Speaker, the world faces unprecedented uncertainty as the norms and institutions that underpinned global security and prosperity over the last half-century have been tossed aside as a new era of protectionism has begun. I'll be blunt. Voters in my riding of Prescott Russell Cumberland are anxious about what this new world order means for Canada. Can the Secretary of State for Financial Institutions and CRA let those people know how Budget 2025 will meet this unique and historical moment?
The Honourable Secretary of State for Financial Institutions.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the member for giving me the opportunity to inform the House that today we will table an historic budget that will spend less on operations and invest more in Canada. Mr. Speaker, the member opposite may not believe it, but we will build the strongest economy in the G7. This is the largest investment in our country since the Second World War. We will build big, we will build bold, and we will build Canada strong. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Caribou Prince George.
First responders, nurses, and healthcare workers serve and protect our communities every day. They put their uniforms on every day, knowing that their lives will be on the line, that they run towards danger. They mend our broken bones. They hold our hand as we take our last breath. What we've just seen by this Liberal government is shameful. Just before QP, I rose and asked for unanimous consent to pass a law that would protect firefighters, nurses, paramedics today, immediately, right now. The Liberals are using our frontline heroes as pawns in their political games. The minister has the power. Will he give unanimous consent to pass S-233?
Good question.
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, I see I've been missed by my friends opposite. Exactly. I have good news. On the subject that grounds the member's question, this is one where I think we can collaborate in a nonpartisan way. The government has just tabled legislation, Bill C-14, that includes protections for first responders by adding aggravating factors to their sentences, which will result in harder penalties for those who commit assaults against our first responders. If we're going to count on first responders to keep our communities safe, the least we can do is offer the protection of Canada's criminal law. I will work across party lines with that member and with Conservatives in the Senate to adopt adoptions that will protect first responder as soon as possible.
The Honourable Member for Edmonton Strathcona.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians do not want coal mines destroying our cherished rock.
There's too much ambient noise. The Honourable Member for Edmonton Strathcona.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians do not want coal mines destroying our cherished Rocky Mountains. 4 years ago, the minister promised new coal mine selenium regulations that would protect our rivers and lakes from toxic pollution. And now we discover that instead of providing protection, the Liberals are allowing a dramatic increase in the pollutants going into rivers and lakes. This government is betraying its promise to Canadians. When will this government finally put the health of Canadians and the environment ahead of foreign interests?
Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Mr. Speaker, we have been very clear that we are going to continue to fight for clean air and clean waters for our next generations to come. As we continue to build Canada, we're going to build it well, and we will continue to make sure that we are protecting the environment at the same moment that we are building an economy with good jobs for the future. My job as Minister of Environment is to make sure that we continue to fight for the environment, and I will do it.
Bravo. The Honourable Member for Courtenay, Alberni.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians are being bled dry at the pump, at the grocery till, on their credit cards and mortgages, and by cell phone bills that just keep climbing, while corporate giants post record profits. Last year, RBC made $16 billion, Rogers $1.7 billion, Loblaws over $2 billion, and Imperial Oil almost $1 billion last quarter alone. How much profit is enough? And will this Liberal government include a corporate excess profit tax in this budget to finally protect Canadians from runaway corporate greed?
Honorable Ministre de l'Industrie.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with my colleague. We need to make sure that we work together on making the life of Canadians more affordable. And that's why we believe in competition. That's why also we took a bold decision when it comes to telecommunications fees and upholding the CRTC decision to make sure there's more competition and therefore lower fees for Canadians. But we'll do more, and he just needs to read the budget regarding what's going to happen when it comes to our competition across the country. Thank you.
It being 3:09, the House will now proceed to the taking of the deferred recorded division on the motion to concur in the first report of the Standing Committee on Human Resources, Skills and Social Development and the Status of Persons with Disabilities. Call in the members.
Okay, so yeah, this is just a boring vote on a committee report regarding human resources, and we've got about 49 minutes until the budget gets tabled. As you can see, there's some members out of the House, like Pierre and others, and they're actually going to go read the budget right now. They get to see it along with media beforehand. So we're just going to stick around on this stream, and we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait till this budget gets tabled. Carney's going to be in. He's going to table it with the finance minister, and he's also going to have a debate on it with Pierre. So why wasn't Pierre there today? He is there. He's just reading the budget. They get to see it before it gets tabled. But yeah, this usually isn't 15 minutes.
The question is as follows. Mr. Genuis, seconded by Mr. Ho, move that the first report of the Standing Committee on Human Resources, Skills and Social Development and the Status of Persons with Disabilities, presented on Monday, September 22nd, 2025, be concurred in. La période.
The 10-minute period for members voting electronically has started, and the House will now proceed to the vote for members participating in person. All those in favor of the motion will please rise.
McKinnon-Gatineau.
Monsieur McKinnon-Gatineau.
Mr. Ali.
Mr. Ali.
Madame Diab.
Madame Diab.
Mr. McDonald-Malpack.
Mr. McDonald-Malpack.
Mr. McGinty.
Mr. McGinty.
Mr. Lightbound.
Mr. Lightbound.
Mr. Robertson.
Mr. Robertson.
Ms. Thompson.
Ms. Thompson.
Mr. Hodgson.
Mr. Hodgson.
Mr. Hernandez-Sangri.
Mr. Hernandez-Sangri.
Ms. Haidu.
Ms. Haidu.
Madame Michel.
Madame Michel.
Mr. Sidhu Brampton East.
Mr. Sidhu Brampton East.
Ms. Olszewski.
Ms. Olszewski.
Mr. Solomon.
Mr. Solomon.
Mrs. Valdez.
Mrs. Valdez.
Mr. Duclos.
Monsieur Duclos.
Ms. Gould.
Ms. Gould.
Madame Petitpas-Taylor.
Madame Petitpas-Taylor.
Mr. Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Mr. Osborne.
Mr. Osborne.
Mr. Fragascatos.
Mr. Fragascatos.
Mr. Fuhrer.
Mr. Fuhrer.
Mr. Vancouverden.
Mr. Vancouverden.
Ms. Gainey.
Ms. Gainey.
Madame Provost.
Madame Provost.
Ms. Sahota.
Ms. Sahota.
Mr. Belanger, Desnathe, Mississippi, Churchill River.
Mr. Belanger, Desnathe, Mississippi, Churchill River.
Ms. McKnight.
Ms. McKnight.
Ms. Chartrand.
Ms. Chartrand.
Mr. Gerritsen.
Mr. Gerritsen.
Ms. Anand.
Ms. Anand.
Ms. Alty.
Ms. Alty.
Mrs. Galmasti.
Mrs. Galmasti.
Mr. Sarai.
Mr. Sarai.
Ms. McLean, Esquimalt, Sanet Suk.
Ms. McLean, Esquimalt, Sanet Suk.
Mr. Long.
Mr. Long.
Mr. Zaricelli.
Mr. Zaricelli.
Madame Chanette.
Madame Chanette.
Ms. Latanzio.
Ms. Latanzio.
Mr. Nakfi.
Mr. Nakfi.
Mr. Housefather.
Mr. Housefather.
Madame Ménard.
Madame Menard.
Ms. Jasek.
Ms. Jasek.
Mr. Beach.
Mr. Beach.
Ms. Scrow.
Ms. Scrow.
Mr. Dogood.
Mr. Dogood.
Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Dollywall.
Mr. Dollywall.
Madame Chatel.
Madame Chatel.
Mrs. Romanato.
Mrs. Romanato.
Mr. Lewis Kitchener-Conestoga.
Mr. Lewis Kitchener-Conestoga.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Leitao.
Mr. Leitao.
Mr. Bardizzi.
Mr. Bardizzi.
Madame Kayabaga.
Madame Kayabaga.
Mr. Lamoureux.
Mr. Lamoureux.
Mr. Kellaway.
Mr. Kellaway.
Mr. Gay.
Mr. Gay.
Mr. Hogan.
Mr. Hogan.
Mr. Ramsey.
Mr. Ramsey.
Madame Koutrakis.
Madame Koutrakis.
Ms. Chi.
Ms. Chi.
Mr. Miles.
Mr. Miles.
Mr. Biddle.
Mr. Biddle.
Mr. Cormier.
Monsieur Cormier.
Ms. Dillon.
Ms. Dillon.
Ms. Zarowitz.
Ms. Zarowitz.
Mr. Elkoury.
Monsieur Coury.
Mr. Fergus.
Mr. Fergus.
Mr. Fonseca.
Mr. Fonseca.
Mr. Yakino.
Monsieur Yakino.
Mr. Lozon.
Monsieur Lozon.
Mr. Maloney.
Mr. Maloney.
Ms. Suds.
Ms. Suds.
Madame Desrochers.
Madame Desrochers.
Ms. McKelvey.
Ms. McKelvey.
Mr. Gasparo.
Mr. Gasparo.
Mr. Hanley.
Mr. Hanley.
Madame Rochefort.
Madame Rochefort.
Mr. Casey.
Mr. Casey.
Madame Bendayen.
Madame Bendayen.
Madame Fortier.
Madame Fortier.
Mr. Oliphant.
Mr. Oliphant.
Mr. Baptiste.
Mr. Baptiste.
Mr. Clausen.
Mr. Clausen.
Madame Lavac.
Madame Lavac.
Ms. Church.
Ms. Church.
Mr. McKinnon, Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam.
Mr. McKinnon, Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam.
Mr. Morrissey.
Mr. Morrissey.
Mr. Schiefke.
Mr. Schiefke.
Ms. Cedar Brampton South.
Ms. Cedar Brampton South.
Ms. Vandenbeld.
Ms. Vandenbeld.
Mrs. Zaid.
Mrs. Zayed.
Ms. Yip.
Ms. Yip.
Mr. Baker.
Mr. Baker.
Madame Lalonde.
Madame Lalonde.
Mr. Pulowski.
Mr. Pulowski.
Mr. Weiler.
Mr. Weiler.
Mr. Ailson.
Mr. Ailson.
Madame Lapointe, Rivière des Mille-Îles.
Madame Lapointe, Rivière des Mille-Îles.
Mr. Baines.
Mr. Baines.
Mr. Coteau.
Mr. Coteau.
Mr. Gahir.
Mr. Gahir.
Ms. Hefner.
Ms. Hefner.
Madame Lapointe, Sudbury.
Madame Lapointe, Sudbury.
Mr. Sousa.
Mr. Sousa.
Ms. Akan.
Ms. Akan.
Mr. Al Saoud.
Mr. Al Saoud.
Madame Auguste.
Madame Auguste.
Mr. Chang.
Mr. Chang.
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Connors.
Mr. Connors.
Madame Donduran.
Madame Donduran.
Mr. Danko.
Mr. Danko.
Mr. Deschênes-Thériault.
Mr. Deschênes-Thériault.
Mr. Earl.
Mr. Earl.
Ms. Fancy.
Ms. Fancy.
Madame Mendez.
Madame Mendez.
Mr. Fanjoy.
Mr. Fanjoy.
Mr. Greaves.
Mr. Greaves.
Ms. Harrison.
Ms. Harrison.
Mr. Hurtle. Ms. Hurtle.
Ms. Hurdle.
Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Lavoie.
Mr. Lavoie.
Mr. McDonald Cardigan.
Mr. McDonald Cardigan.
Mr. Mallet Bay of Quinty.
Mr. Mallet Bay of Quinty.
Ms. Miedema.
Ms. Miedema.
Madame Mingarelli.
Madame Mingarelli.
Ms. Naffin.
Ms. Navin.
Ms. Wien.
Ms. Wien.
Mr. Tumba.
Mr. Tumba.
Ms. O'Rourke.
Ms. O'Rourke.
Mr. Rana.
Mr. Rana.
Ms. Royer.
Mr. Royer.
Mr. Saini.
Mr. Saini.
Mr. Sahi.
Mr. Sari.
Mr. Sawatsky.
Mr. Sawatsky.
Ms. Sodi.
Ms. Sodi.
Mr. St. Pierre.
Mr. St. Pierre.
Ms. Tesser Dirksen.
Ms. Tesser Dirksen.
Mr. Villeneuve.
Mr. Villeneuve.
Mr. Watchhorn.
Monsieur Watchhorn.
Mr. Doherty.
Mr. Doherty.
Mr. Schmale.
Mr. Schmale.
Mr. Brock.
Mr. Brock.
Mrs. Block.
Mrs. Block.
Mrs. Thomas.
Mrs. Thomas.
Mr. Dedtel.
Mr. Deltel.
Mr. Paulus.
Mr. Paulus.
Ms. Lewis Haldeman Norfolk.
Ms. Lewis Haldeman Norfolk.
Ms. Dancho.
Ms. Dancho.
Mr. Chong.
Mr. Chong.
Mrs. Kuzi.
Mrs. Kuzi.
Mr. Barlow.
Mr. Barlow.
Mr. Barrett.
Mr. Barrett.
Mr. Chambers.
Mr. Chambers.
Mr. Albus.
Mr. Albus.
Mr. Caputo.
Mr. Caputo.
Mr. Small.
Mr. Small.
Mr. Mazer.
Mr. Mazer.
Mr. Strahl.
Mr. Straw.
Mr. Genuis.
Mr. Genis.
Mr. Brassard.
Mr. Brassard.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Beltud.
Mr. Bertud.
Mr. Workington.
Mr. Workington.
Mrs. Cramp-Nyman.
Mrs. Cramp-Nyman.
Mr. Canna.
Mr. Canna.
Mrs. Roberts.
Mrs. Roberts.
Mr. Morin.
Mr. Morin.
Mr. Ross.
Mr. Ross.
Madame Vien.
Madame Vien.
Monsieur Godin.
Monsieur Godin.
Monsieur Martel.
Monsieur Martel.
Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Van Popta.
Mr. Van Popta.
Monsieur Généreux.
Monsieur Généreux.
Monsieur Gould.
Monsieur Gould.
Mr. Viss.
Mr. Viss.
Mr. Lobb.
Mr. Lobb.
Mr. Baldinelli.
Mr. Baldinelli.
Mr. Davidson.
Mr. Davidson.
Mr. Calkins.
Mr. Calkins.
Mr. Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence.
Mr. Muse.
Mr. Muse.
Mr. Waugh.
Mr. Waugh.
Ms. Rood.
Ms. Rood.
Mr. Ho.
Mr. Ho.
Mrs. Falk Battleford, Lloydminster, Meadow Lake.
Mrs. Falk Battleford, Lloydminster, Meadow Lake.
Ms. Gladue.
Ms. Gladue.
Mr. Majumdar.
Mr. Majumdar.
Mr. Shipley.
Mr. Shipley.
Mr. Redekop.
Mr. Redekop.
Mr. Tolmie.
Mr. Tolmie.
Monsieur Mallet, Kapiskasing, Timmins, Mushkagawak.
Monsieur Mallet, Kapiskasing, Timmins, Mushkagawak.
Monsieur Lefebvre.
Monsieur Lefebvre.
Mr. Arnold.
Mr. Arnold.
Mrs.
Gallant.
Pardon me?
Gallant.
Mrs. Gallant.
Mrs.
Pardon me.
Gallant.
Mr. Reed.
Mr. Reed.
Mr. Hoback.
Mr. Hoback.
Mr. Allison.
Mr. Allison.
Mr. Vierson.
Mr. Vierson.
Mr. Epp.
Mr. Epp.
Mr. Williamson.
Mr. Williamson.
Mr. Falk Provencher.
Mr. Falk Provencher.
Mr. Diot.
Mr. Diot.
Mr. Macaulay.
Mr. Macaulay.
Mr. Menegakis.
Mr. Menegakis.
Mrs. Wagenthal.
Mrs. Wagenthal.
Mrs. Jansen.
Mrs. Jansen.
Mr. Abouteif.
Mr. Abouteif.
Mr. Dalton.
Mr. Dalton.
Mr. Dowdle.
Mr. Dowdle.
Mr. Lewis Essex.
Mr. Lewis Essex.
Mr. Patzer.
Mr. Patzer.
Mr. Leslie.
Mr. Leslie.
Mr. Giovanni.
Mr. Giovanni.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mrs. Anstey.
Mrs. Anstey.
Mr. Ow.
Mr. Ow.
Mr. Bailey.
Mr. Bailey.
Mr. Bélanger, Sudbury S, Manitoulin, Nickelbelt.
Monsieur Bélanger, Sudbury S, Manitoulin, Nickelbelt.
Mr. Bexty.
Mr. Bexty.
Mr. Bonk.
Mr. Bonk.
Ms. Borelli.
Mrs. Borelli.
Ms. Cobania.
Ms. Cobania.
Ms. Cody.
Ms. Cody.
Mr. Davies, Niagara South.
Mr. Davies, Niagara South.
Mr. Dawson.
Mr. Dawson.
Mr. Ritter.
Mrs. DeRitter.
Mr. Gill, Calgary Skyview.
Mr. Gill, Calgary Skyview.
Mr. Gill, Brampton West.
Mr. Gill, Brampton West.
Mr. Gill, Calgary McKnight.
Mr. Gill, Calgary McKnight.
Mr. Gill, Windsor West.
Mr. Gill, Windsor West.
Mr. Kmitch.
Mr. Kmitch.
Mr. Nader.
Mr. Nader.
Mr. Groslo.
Mr. Groslo.
Mr. Guglielmin.
Mr. Goodman.
Mr. Gunn.
Mr. Gunn.
Mr. Halsey.
Mr. Hardy.
Mr. Holman.
Mr. Holman.
Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Kibble.
Mr. Kibble.
Ms. Kirkland.
Kirkland.
Mrs. Conans.
Mrs. Conans.
Ms. Cronus.
Ms. Cronus.
Mr. Curick.
Mr. Kirk.
Mr. Lawton.
Mr. Lawton.
Mr. Ma.
Mr. Ma.
Mr. Mahal.
Mr. Mahal.
Mr. Mantle.
Mr. Mantle.
Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. Reynolds.
Mr. Reynolds.
Mr. Rowe.
Mr. Rowe.
Mr. Stevenson.
Mr. Stevenson.
Madame Normandin.
Madame Normandin.
Monsieur Brunel-Duceppe.
Monsieur Brunel-Duceppe.
Monsieur Simard.
Monsieur Simard.
Monsieur Fortin.
Monsieur Fortin.
Monsieur Thériault.
Monsieur Thériault.
Monsieur Champoux.
Monsieur Champoux.
Monsieur Perron.
Monsieur Perron.
Monsieur Deschaines.
Monsieur Deschaines.
Monsieur Savard-Tremblay.
Monsieur Savard-Tremblay.
Madame Larouche.
Madame Larouche.
Madame de Bellefeuille.
Madame de Bellefeuille.
Madame Gaudreau.
Madame Gaudreau.
Monsieur Beaulieu.
Monsieur Beaulieu.
Monsieur Barcelo-Duval.
Monsieur Barcelo-Duval.
Monsieur Blanchette-Jonca.
Monsieur Blanchette-Jonca.
Monsieur Lemire.
Monsieur Lemire.
Ms. McPherson.
Ms. McPherson.
Ms. Gazan.
Ms. Gazan.
Ms. Kwan.
Ms. Kwan.
Mr. Johns.
Mr. Johns. All those opposed to the motion will please rise. The House will now wait for the electronic voting period to end before resuming its proceedings.
Okay, so there's a bunch of people asking in the chat. I've said it a few times, but this is just a vote on a report from the HUMA committee, so nothing really important going on here. As you can see, it's a unanimous yes, so this isn't like any legislation or any bill or anything like that. We are just waiting for the budget to be tabled, which will be in 38 minutes, and it's going to be tabled in the House along with Carney and the finance minister. The House is going to fill up. You're going to see Pierre come in, and they're going to debate it for a little bit. So we're going to just stick around and wait for that, and we're going to watch that. That should be pretty good. I'm also checking just to see if they're going to be doing any like media coverage before they get into the House. Sometimes reporters stop them and ask them questions before they come in. Doesn't seem like that's happening right now, so basically just taking the next half hour to watch the House while we wait for it to fill back up for the budget.
Je désire informer la Chambre.
I wish to inform the House that the electronic voting period has ended.
Si des députés n'ont pas pu voter.
If members were not able to vote due to technical difficulties, they may now use the raise hand function and the chair will recognize them.
Ne voyant pas de main levée,
The table will now compile the results of the vote.
Yeas pour 338, 338. Nays contre, 0, aucun.
I declare the motion carried.
I wish to inform the House that because of the deferred recorded division, the time provided for government orders will be extended by 12 minutes. Je désire informer la Chambre.
I would like to inform the House that the volume of earpieces will now be reset.
Ordre du jour.
Order of the day. Government Bill resuming debate. Third reading, Bill C3. An Act to amend the Citizenship Act 2025. Resuming debate, but only when there will be a little bit of decorum in the House, a bit more silence.
They turned it down.
I'd like to ask colleagues to leave.
I can go tell him.
So what do we got? We got 35 minutes until they table the budget. This will kind of empty out and then fill back up.
Yeah, it's happening.
If members who do not wish to remain in the House could perhaps leave the House rather rapidly and as silently as possible, that would be great. I would now ask the Honourable Member for Lac-Saint-Jean to continue his speech. He has 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I understand that my speech today is probably the most expected one of the day. So I'll continue. I've spoken, I believe, about 45 times about this bill or other iterations of this bill, so I don't really need notes anymore. There was a former bill under former legislature. We had C71, which was almost the same as C3. That being said, when we brought experts to study this bill at committee, we had the parliamentary budget officer who came to give a bit of information. Originally, when this bill was tabled, we were told it would affect about 800,000 people, perhaps. And the PBO said that it could impact, pursuant to various algorithms, about 115,000, about 300,000 people, which is a big change compared to what we were told beforehand. So we did our work, we summoned experts, we tried to understand why this bill should move forward, because yes, an injustice was committed on those lost Canadians, but at the same time, work has to be done diligently, especially when it has to do with citizenship and the Citizenship Act. We have to be serious about Canadian citizenship, and I'm a Quebec sovereignist, so I know what I'm talking about. We worked very hard. All colleagues from every party worked hard. We had proposals. Conservatives proposed some amendments that were very well drafted, it must be noted. And most members of the committee voted for these amendments. Today, the House has used a parliamentary tool that isn't very often used to defeat what was done at committee. Every day I hear Liberals say, it's important to work at committee. Please bring forward amendments, we'll work together. So we do exactly that. We turn up, we work together, we table amendments, we vote on an amendment. Most members of the committee voted for these amendments. But then, through parliamentary procedure, the committee work is simply just cast aside, which for me is very difficult to swallow. Once again, it's a bloquiste who is defending Canadian democratic institutions. It's a particular situation. It's rather unfortunate that we've had to get to this point, but we are here to respect the people that we represent. And we have important institutions to defend, like the Immigration Committee. How can Canadians trust our institutions when all the work that is done at a committee is simply cast aside? Our work isn't free, it costs money. It costs Canadians money to operate committees. Rather astronomical costs for committee hearings. But after all that onerous work, we're told that the work won't be respected. The amendments that were tabled were very important, and that's why we supported them. The point of 1,095 days to have substantial links to Canada, that the government wanted to put in the bill to prove that someone had a solid link with Canada. That person needs to have had spent in their life 1,095 days, but over an indeterminate period. And this 1,095 days, Mr. Speaker, it's not complicated. It's a reference that they took from the Immigration Act for the rules that govern permanent residents that want to become a Canadian. They need to have spent 1,095 days on Canadian soil, but watch out. Here's the nuance, Mr. Speaker. Over 5 years. In the Immigration Act, it's 1,095 days over 5 years. So they take that 1,095 days from the Immigration Act, but they've removed one of the two variants. So it's no longer over 5 years. In C3, it's over an indeterminate period of time. So someone who's 65 have spent 1,095 days in Canada.
I'm going to mute this for a second, and we're going to see. We'll come back to this in a minute. We're just going to hear from what ministers had to say before going into caucus meeting this morning. Let me just make sure this isn't too loud.
Yes, I saw you on TV this morning. What are we expecting today?
An investment budget. It's going to be a great day for Canadians. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. I just need to go see the Prime Minister.
Comment allez-vous vendre le budget aux Canadiens?
Ben, les gens vont se reconnaître. C'est un budget d'investissement. Les gens sont. On va répondre au moment. Sorry?
The shoes have a lift, inch and a half.
No.
Okay.
No, trust me. I'm not tall, but look
You're
at
not
that.
Lifting,
This is how they're made. They're the same RCMP. It's the RCMP officer shoes, so that's the same thing that they wear. So it's good, but we'll see you. This is a great day for
Canada. We see any other black in the budget. The shoes the only black we're going to see.
What's the name of your budget?
Seen any people from the Conservative side? Are you looking at the seating plan at all?
Well, I mean, we're always hopeful that the opposition will reflect on the budget that's presented today and vote in favor of it. I think that's what Canadians want. Canadians don't want an election right now. So in a minority parliament, these are the conditions that are laid out to us, and we will move forward accordingly.
Are you trying to court any Conservatives to cross the aisle?
We're always trying to work with other MPs and stakeholders throughout the country when it comes to our budget. You heard the minister say that there's been over 20,000 personal engagement activities on the budget. And so, yeah, this is a budget that is going to reflect Canada and what we need right now. And I am optimistic that opposition parties will come around and vote in favor of it.
But you're in charge of the seating chart for the government side. Are you making any room, so to speak, for any additional seats?
There's always room. There's always room on our side for those that want to join the Liberal Party. We're a Big Ten party, and we're always open to those kind of discussions, but I'm not actively having a discussion with anybody if that's what you're asking.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to approve destination status for China? The news that they approved Canada. Is that a direct result from the talks last week in South Korea?
The work that we've been doing to recalibrate the Canada-China relationship has been ongoing for some weeks. I obviously was building on the Prime Minister's conversation in New York with senior Chinese leaders when I was in China. And I met with my counterpart, Minister Wang Yi, in Beijing, and that was a follow-on from my conversation with him in Malaysia in July. And so there has been work over the last number of months and weeks to recalibrate the relationship, and that work is ongoing. We expect to have more engagement over the coming months, and we'll see where that takes us.
Can you explain for Canadians why this matters, though? It might not be a term they recognize, approved destination status, but like in the very near future even, like what are the stakes? What's the dollar value, the potential of this for the economy? Like just to put it into terms that people can understand economically.
Well, thank you for the question and for thinking about the growth of the domestic economy, which is why we're excited about the budget today, because it's going to be focused on the growth of the domestic economy. To your question, this means that more and more numbers of tourists from China will be here in our country and building the domestic economy across provinces and towns and cities in this amazing, beautiful country of ours. And so it is good news, but we have more work to do on the relationship, and I look forward to doing that with the Prime Minister.
All right, have you run the numbers? How many tourists are we talking about?
Well, that's to be seen. It just changed yesterday, so give me a couple of weeks and I'll start getting some numbers for you that are actually accurate.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Quelle est votre priorité numéro 1? Quel dossier se trouve au-dessus de la table?
Well, je toujours voudrais mentionner que, mais il y a des...
We'll obviously support our tourism industry, but of course coming out of the meeting in South Korea, I met with my counterpart, Prime Minister met with his counterpart, and this is what Canadians expect us to do. Stakeholders expect us to have that dialogue, and as you know, the relationship was dormant for over 7 years, and so restarting JETSI, having those communication channels open, will allow us to work through some of the challenges.
So is this a direct result of the leader-to-leader meeting that we saw last week?
Well, what I can say is we're moving in the right direction, right? And I think that's what Canadians expect us to do. Will there always be, flowers growing? But, I think it's important that we work through the challenges, but also look at the opportunities. And here's one of the opportunities of having more tourism come to Canada to support our industries.
What's the economic value of that? I mean, not having that for the last couple of years was a real problem for the tourism sector. Have you run the numbers? Like, what's the opportunity here
when
now?
I visited the Vancouver airport, they were telling me last year that flights were down to that region of the world because of tourism. And so this will definitely support revenues in terms of supporting our industry here in Canada.
But in terms of economic growth on a budget day, do we have a figure for what the value of this is?
It's a big day for the budget. I know Canadians are excited. I'm excited. Big investments in Canadians' future, but it's also going to have fiscal prudence, and that's what Canadians expect from this.
Your riding is right beside Pearson Airport. Your riding is right beside Pearson Airport. You're thinking of China Eastern, China Southern, Hainan, Air China, all coming into Pearson. Are the flights going to increase? Are we going to see more and more of these jets coming over from cities all around China?
From what I know and my visits to the airports, a lot of Asia is served on the West Coast because it's just closer. But of course, I do expect revenues in tourism to go up based on what China had made a decision on. Thank you.
Can you speak to any discussion? Can you tell us about your trip to COP and what you'll be up to at COP next week?
I'm going to be talking to other environment ministers from around the world about how we continue to fight climate change, and I'm looking forward to it.
The other question I have for you is the cutting of the tree program, $2 billion down to $1 billion. Does a billion trees make a difference? Is it going to save money to put into other programs?
I think we're going to have to look at the budget, but I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff in this budget.
But your government has leaked it to the CBC.
You have a reaction to the Supreme Court of Canada striking down the 1-year mandatory minimum for possession of child pornography, and are you looking at using the notwithstanding clause to reinstate that mandatory minimum?
So let me just start by saying, not just as an MP or a minister, but as a parent, sexual crimes committed against kids kids are amongst the most despicable that exist within our society. We just put legislation on the table that can deal with consecutive sentencing for such crimes, and that would prohibit courts from ordering house arrest for sexual crimes committed against kids. Over the next number of weeks, we are putting together another piece of legislation that's going to take further action to deal with sexual exploitation of kids in an online environment, and we're looking at harsher penalties right now. The path forward will involve certain policy choices. I don't necessarily think we need to override the Constitution to fix these problems, but we are going to fix the gap.
But is the notwithstanding clause still an option on the table?
We don't intend to override the Constitution to fix the problem. There's other solutions that are apparent to us, and we're doing the policy exercise to find the right path right now to protect our kids.
Is your office dealing with online harms at all, or is that completely under heritage now?
Look, just indulge me for 30 seconds because I'll do my best to explain. When I hear online harms, that could mean a number of different things to different people. We've not made the decision to copy and paste the Online Harms Act exactly in the same form that exists in the previous Parliament and just put it forward in the precise form. Certain measures would have been included in legislation that we've already tabled this fall. There's other measures that we're looking at in the legislation that I just mentioned, and there's obviously going to be a role to play for both Ministers Guilbeault and Solomon. So we're working together to identify the right path forward, but not necessarily through a single piece of legislation, but potentially through several different measures.
So there are necessarily the online harms bill?
Components of that bill are finding their way into other pieces of legislation, but I wouldn't expect it to be copied and pasted in substantially the same form.
Is there a fixation by the opposition by using the notwithstanding clause? It seems to be bandied about a lot versus being rarely used for the last 25 years, except for Quebec a few times.
Well, look, let me just say, in the case that's provoked this conversation in the last few days, I don't attribute political motivations or malice to any party who wants to do more to address the scourge of child pornography in society. I do think there's a broader conversation playing out about the role of the notwithstanding clause in Canadian society and the desire to ensure that legislatures obviously have the authority to make laws that serve the people, but that the rule of law still has a place to play in Canadian society. That's an exercise that's going to play out, including before the Supreme Court over the next number of months, and obviously the federal government will be a party to that conversation.
Still on the topic of the notwithstanding.
Sorry, I want to go and see the materials.
Everyone, getting ready? Big budget coming.
Was it easy to make cuts in this budget? Was it easy to take from the departments, or did you have to go back to the departments and ask for more cuts to get to the number you need?
Well, I think the colleagues and the country understood we needed to find savings. I think Canadians have been tightening their belt for quite some time, and if you want to be credible when you're saying you're going to make generational investments, you also have to have the discipline to look at how you can make government more efficient. What program can you streamline? How can you bring technology? How you can make sure that we deliver better services for Canadians? Those are tough decisions, but they are needed decisions. I think Canadians elected us with a strong mandate. The budget of today is an investment budget. You're going to see generational investments, ambitious in our investment, rigorous in our spending, and I think we're meeting the moment. Canadians have felt the world is changing. There's a lot of things going on. There's some headwinds, but Canada has a very strong fiscal position. We can make these investments at the time, being very rigorous in our spending.
Will there be Canadian families tonight who will be worrying about their welfare, that they will be losing their public service job after this, that there will be concerns like that?
Well, we are going to be very compassionate. Like I said, we need to bring back the civil service to a more sustainable level. There's been quite an increase since COVID and over the last few years, but we're going to be very compassionate, and most of that is going to be through normal attrition. We have a number of people who just retire normally in the normal course of business. So I think that people will be reassured in a way that we have made the right choices, that we're going to do that in a smart and compassionate way, preserving the key services that are dear to Canadians, and at the same time making sure that we become more efficient. There's a lot of things we can do, but overall, if you ask me, Canadians will feel good tonight. We're going to be okay as a country. I know there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of concerns in families, on the shop floor, in the fields, but I would say tonight people will go to bed and say, we're going to be okay. Canada is a strong country. We have strong foundation, strong industry. This budget will really bring us forward as a nation, empower people. It's a it's a pivotal moment, and I think Canadians are ready for that.
Votre message de le fonctionnaire, il y a beaucoup de fonctionnaires qui est le
French. Skip the French.
Tous énormément de respect jusqu'au niveau bienveillant. Je pense que au bon niveau, et même parce qu'on pense que rentre au travail
just French for the rest of it, then he's done.
Puis moi, c'est pour ça qu'on fera ça avec beaucoup de respect, de façon très judicieuse, mais aussi de façon bienveillante. Merci.
Okay, let's get back to the House. We have 17 minutes until the budget will be tabled. House is suspended until 4 p.m. Okay, they've suspended to allow the budget to get printed, I guess, or it's already printed, and it needs to be submitted to the House. So what do we got? We got 17 minutes. Let's see what else we can tune into and watch. In the meantime, also tomorrow we have the governor of the Bank of Canada in the Finance Committee, and anytime he's come, it's usually been pretty good. So we're going to cover that. We didn't cover committees this morning because there just wasn't really much going on. Let's go ahead and see what else we can watch in the meantime.
Clear that
Okay, I hate to tune into CBC, but it doesn't look like there's much else to watch in the meantime while the House is suspended. And
having modular manufacturing in the center of that value chain also delivers real outcomes for Canadians. I expect that's where the emphasis is going to be in what we're about to see.
Well, you know, we have heard the first round of major projects. We're expecting a second phase. There was also a new critical minerals strategy announced a week ago that Canada wants to play a big role in. And there's been talk about a pipeline. There's been talk about energy with the United States, whether it be Keystone or whether it be uranium. What kind of project funding would you hope to see around some of those issues, whether it be a pipeline, critical minerals, energy writ large?
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see dedicated funds for that. I think that on critical minerals specifically, we've actually already put a lot of subsidies on the table. We put $3.8 billion on the table a number of years ago, but we actually haven't seen progress as rapid as we would want on the development side. There's a lot of things holding mines back in Canada, but one of the critical things has been price uncertainty. And what the government tried to do last week was really address that price uncertainty. That price uncertainty is created by China's geopolitical control over the global minerals market. And what the government really tried to do in the case of Nouveau Monde graphite was give them a direct offtake that provided them with certainty that they were actually going to sell a certain amount of graphite at a certain kind of price. And that's the kind of bold action that is actually going to unlock mine development in this country. So I want dedicated funds to be used in that way to provide certainty for these companies rather than more subsidies on the other side.
We know already that the government's ditching the plan to plant 2 billion trees. Were you upset about that, or do you think that is a program that maybe didn't make sense in the end?
Yeah, I think that this is one of those things where when we're focusing too much on abstract emissions reductions targets, we think that things like planting trees are really great policies. But first of all, the science is not really settled actually on how much carbon is removed from planting a tree. It depends what ecosystem it's displacing. But actually the focus just needs to be not on generating credits, but on actually creating real outcomes in the Canadian economy, because it's the transformation of our economy that is going to both decarbonize that economy and position us in those global value chains that are continuing to be built regardless of what's happening south of the border.
Okay, Bentley Allen, really good to talk to you. I appreciate your perspective as we wait
Likewise,
to see
Rosemary, thank you so much.
What's in this budget. Thank you so much. Good of you to make that time. Okay, let's bring you right now inside the Prime Minister's office here in the West Block, where you can see Mark Carney meeting with his Finance Minister, François-Philippe Champagne. The first budget for both of them. Let's listen in here, see what they have to say.
So, Minister, this is an historic day, and it opens up a new era for the country. You will be presenting an ambitious budget.
This is, in many ways, a historic day. We're starting a new era. We know the world's changed. Our strategy has to change with it. And we choose Canada. We choose to advance, we choose to invest, historic investment, generational investment, everywhere from new partners abroad right down to new infrastructure at the local community, and of course millions of homes across this country. Congratulations. Merci beaucoup.
Well, thank you, Prime Minister. As the Prime Minister said, this is an investment budget. This is a generational shift. This is not just an ordinary transition. We're going to build this country like never before. We're going to protect our sovereignty. We're going to empower Canadians on the shop floor, in the fields, in their homes. So this is really a generational moment. So thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you for your vision, because that budget really, will give a roadmap to this country to attract more investment, to be more prosperous, more confident. So, merci, Monsieur le Premier Ministre. C'est un plaisir d'avoir.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to present this budget. This is an historic moment for us and for the country. We're talking about generational investments, as the Prime Minister said, in our infrastructure and in productivity and competitiveness for the country, and of course, affordable housing. So I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to present the plan to Canadians, and I think everyone will see their interest in this budget. Only some 25 minutes left before your speech, and we get the numbers.
It's a crucial time for the country, and I think it's not just that, as you just said, all Canadians will see themselves in the budget because it will help them all, but in many respects, and at its core, the budget reflects Canadians. Because the thing that struck me, I think struck you, as we went across the country from early in the year, Canadians wanted to come together, want to take control of our futures. That's what this does. This gives us control of our future. We're going to build together, we're going to build Canada strong, and we're starting right now.
Totally.
Merci beaucoup.
So we're ready. Merci tout le monde. Merci, Monsieur le Premier Ministre.
Can we get a photo with the budget?
Sure.
Absolument.
Merci.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On a trois.
On a trois.
Tous les chiffres sont les mêmes, alors. Ah bon?
Merci tout le monde.
Okay, there is the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, and his Finance Minister, François-Philippe Champagne, holding up the budget and talking about what they want Canadians to take away from it, saying that it is a budget that is meant to invest and is meant to protect Canada's sovereignty in the face, of course, of Donald Trump and other threats. The Prime Minister is saying that this is a crucial time for the country, and the budget will reflect what Canadians want from the government right now. As this has been unfolding, I just want to bring you up to speed on something that our colleagues at Politico are reporting at this hour. They say they spoke directly to a Conservative MP, Nova Scotia MP, Chris D'Entremont, and that he told them, this is Politico reporting this at this stage, we have not independently confirmed it, that he is thinking about crossing the floor from the Conservatives to the Liberals and is going to decide in the next few days after reviewing the federal budget. So we will try and speak to Mr. D'Entremont as well. There had been rumblings of a possible floor crossing, but this is the first confirmation publicly. It would be that there is indeed a Conservative MP thinking about doing that. Hopefully we can get talking to him and bring him on this program or on Power and Politics a little bit later. One of the other things, of course, that this budget will address for many people, or they're hoping it will address, is rising unemployment. That is another sign of the weakness of the economy right now. The latest numbers show that unemployment in Canada just over 7%, according to Statistics Canada. The outlook, though, is even starker for people under the age of 25, with unemployment rising, sitting at 14.7%. That's the highest rate it's been since 2010, except, of course, during the pandemic years. But it has been a struggle for a lot of young people, a lot of university students and others. Camilla Lemus is a second-year student at Carleton University, worried about the cost of living herself and her employment prospects, and she joins me here in Ottawa. Camilla, nice to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. Tell me what it's been like for you. You're in university.
Okay, we don't need to hear this. Is there anything else we can tune into? I believe CPAC's also covering a live event will begin shortly. House is still suspended. This is just awful reporting.
I was living on residence at Carleton. This year I entered the housing market and renting with my roommates. And it's been definitely an experience. Like, This whole summer, I was trying to land a job in Ottawa. Wasn't able. Towards the end of the summer, I landed my first interview after 3 months of looking. And that job was 40 minutes away from my house. And as soon as I started school, it was so hard to manage school and work. But at the same time, I was dealing with having to pay $1,000 a month for rent, which is something that, obviously, although I did foresee those costs last year when I was paying residents at Carleton, having that like every month responsibility of paying $1,000 plus groceries, plus bills, plus all of these things was definitely hard. And having to manage school at the same time, it was way harder. It was either I worked and was able to hardly even afford to pay my rent and my groceries and all these responsibilities, or having to go to school and having to sacrifice, that academic performance and all of that. Yeah. So now I'm taking.
So what are you doing? How are you making it work?
Well, right now I had.
Okay, we get it. I can't listen to that anymore. I'm sorry. It's just it's not relevant to. I mean, it is relevant. I understand where CBC is trying to come in with this reporting, but we're focused on a Liberal budget today and hopefully a non-confidence vote later in the week. I don't need to hear about the individual struggles of somebody who's going to college for the first time. Just not what I need to hear right now, CBC. Let's see what Doug Ford had to say earlier.
Hearing more now from the Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford. This video just coming into our newsroom here, speaking ahead of today's federal budget. Here's more from the Ontario Premier.
Continue to leave it off of LCBO store shelves?
Absolutely. Because that's one of our tools we have to fight back and hold President Trump accountable as he wants to try to annihilate our province, our country, on every single sector. Those are one of the tools we have, so they'll stay off as long as the negotiations go, and once we get settled, then we'll invite them back.
Premier, the Starlink contract, cancelling that's one of the reasons Ontario won't hit its target for broadband. Do you think that was a mistake to tear up a contract you now can't replace?
No, I'm not going to support an individual like Elon Musk that was part of the group that wants to try to attack Canada and try to attack Ontario. I find it very ironic. He went to Queen's University, he lived here, but no, I don't regret it at all.
But people in Northern Ontario are now paying for that decision, not Elon Musk.
No, you know something? I had two choices. Either support one of Trump's closest allies and friends, and I guess no longer a friend, no longer an ally, but I'm not going to support him.
Premier, what are you hoping to see in the federal budget?
Well, hopefully a lot of infrastructure funding for our requirements, and obviously the Ring of Fire. We were out with the Prime Minister a week ago over at Darlington, but we're looking at large-scale nuclear as well at Wesleyville and possibly some other sites. So hopefully he'll put the money towards what we need. What we need right now is energy. I read an article about McKinsey that over the next 5 years, from 2025 to 2030, the report came out that the world's going to need $6.7 trillion to fill the capacity on the data centers around the world. I think that's an opportunity to get first out of the gate and attract businesses here that will put in the data centers. We have the climate, number one, but we have the power that no one else has, so we have to get to market as quickly as possible.
What about the 401 tunnel? That was one of your asks when you wrote in that letter back in May, to get some money to build that 401 tunnel. Is that still part of the discussion?
Yeah, it's always part of the discussion. We waste $56 billion a year on traffic every single year. And we need to get to market. We need to get the goods to market as quickly as possible. And we need to get people from point A to point B. Anyone that's driven on the 401, busiest highway in North America, it's jam-packed right up to midnight every single day from 6 in the morning to midnight. So we have to get people moving.
Premier Sean Fraser says he's not going to use the notwithstanding clause after that Supreme Court decision on child pornography. I know you had called for that. He says he can just introduce some other legislative measures to address that instead. Is that going to be sufficient in your view?
Well, let me explain it to the people. This is absolutely disgusting what the courts have decided. So anyone that that goes out and has child pornography, there should be a mandatory sentence. The courts shot it down. This is the time to use Section 33. It's not the will of the people to sit there and say people that promote child pornography, they're okay. Well, that's disgusting. And they need to be in jail for as long as we can put them in jail. And I totally disagree with the courts on this. And this is where you use Section 33. When the courts go offside, not speaking of the will of the people, and we need to make sure that these people that are pushing child pornography, it's disgusting, most disgusting behavior. However, they need to be in jail and they get rot in there all the rest of their life as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, we're going to switch over to the House. It is still suspended, but we've got 2 minutes. So if you need to go grab a drink, grab a coffee, grab some popcorn, whatever, go do that now. We're just going to sit on this stream until it starts up here in 2 minutes. But, yeah, so like I said before, if you guys are... Most of you guys have been in here this whole time, but Carney's going to come in, the finance minister's going to come in, there's the tabling of the budget, the oppositions are going to be there, and there's going to be a debate on it. So we're going to try and stick around for the debate as long as we can. There's obviously no committees on, because this is such a big thing for Parliament. There are committees on tomorrow. We're going to cover the Finance Committee in the afternoon after question period, where the Bank of Canada governor is going to be there. So, especially right after a budget, it's a good time to have him in. But yeah, we have T-minus 1 minute, 60 seconds until we get going here. And that's if the government's on time. They're usually on time for the budget, but I know for committees, they're always late. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be a few minutes late. It's a translator, so we don't... Actually, he probably will speak a lot of French. Champagne loves to speak French. And his grammar in English is not the best either. Canadian need to be excited. Canadians, Champagne. Canadians. I know you're very Quebec, but that's a plural there. Canadians should thank us. That's what we're going to hear from him. It's time to celebrate. Maybe they will dump it on the table and run like last time. I don't think so. I think they're too proud of it on this one. And from what I can see in the House is there is going to be a debate on it. So I have a feeling Carney's itinerary shows that he's going to be in the House to help table it. So I do expect a bit of debate here, back and forth between Carney and Pierre, some of the other opposition members. I'd love to hear the NDP come out and speak up right away and say they've read it. But I have a feeling what the NDP is going to say is they haven't fully read it and they want some time to read it before they get back to the House on how they feel about it. But yeah, they're already 1 minute late, as you can see. I anticipated this. They'll be a little bit... I wouldn't be surprised if they're 5 minutes late. Every time they say generational, take a sip. Oh, man. We would all be drunk within 5 minutes. Why we won't see a budget today? Well, that's. I actually don't think that's what MP said, and there is a table. There is a budget today, so you can see it in the House of Commons schedule. You can see it in Carney's itinerary. There will be a budget today. It won't be voted on today, according to the House Leader McKinnon, and according to the Finance Minister Champagne. We've heard them say that there's going to be a couple of days debate on it, and that it would be voted on later this week. So it won't be voted on today, but we're expecting to see a vote on this around Thursday, as I would anticipate. If it's not Thursday, it'll be next week. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets challenged on Thursday, because there has to be an opposition member to challenge it. I'm guessing 70 plus billion in the budget. We ran a poll earlier. Let's go ahead and run another poll while we wait. There we go. Go ahead and vote on that poll if you think it's going to be higher or lower than 100 billion. Do you really think a vote of non-confidence is likely? Yes, I do think. I do think the budget will be challenged. I don't think it'll pass. I think the NDP will vote with. Oh, that's correct. Yeah, you're right. They're not in the House next week. That's correct. That's correct. You guys are right. So it would be the week after that.
Order.
All right, here we go.
It being 4 p.m., the House will now proceed to the consideration of the Ways and Means motion number 2 concerning the budget presentation. Monsieur Champagne.
Mr. Champagne, seconded by Mr. Carney, moves that this House approve in general the budgetary policy of the government. The Honourable Minister of Finance.
I would like to table in both official languages the budget documents for 2025, including the notice of Ways and Means motion. The details of the measures are contained in these documents. Pursuant to Standing Order 83.2, I am requesting that an order of the day be designated for consideration of these motions, Mr. Speaker. And with that, I will give that to the clerk. Here. Monsieur le Président, honorable député de
Mr. Speaker, honourable members of this House, Canadians. The budget I present today comes at a time of profound change, a time to build.
The budget I present today comes at a time of profound change, a time to build. The world is undergoing a series of fundamental shifts at a speed, scale, and scope not seen since the fall of the Berlin Wall. The rules-based international order and the trading system that powered Canada's prosperity for decades are being reshaped, threatening our sovereignty, our prosperity, and our values. Long-standing supply chains and trade relationships that once ensured stable growth in this country from coast to coast to coast, and good job across our nation, and affordable products are being disrupted. Monsieur le Président, l'impact est...
Mr. Speaker, the impact is profound, hurting Canadian companies, affecting workers, disrupting supply chains, and causing uncertainty that holds back investment. In fact, the level of uncertainty is higher than what we have seen and felt for generations. It is not a transition. Rather, it is a true generational shift. The challenges are great, but the opportunities for Canada are even greater.
Mr. Speaker, but the opportunities for Canada are even greater. Et c'est dans cet esprit que...
And in this spirit, today, I present to you Budget 2025. As a former finance minister, also from Shawinigan, so eloquently put it.
Humility, but also with confidence, Mr. Speaker. This is Canada. This budget must be generational in its ambition and serve to shape our economy and our nation's future. Il n'y a pas de place pour le retrait.
There is no place for withdrawal, ambiguity, or even standing still. Only for bold and swift action.
Bold and swift action is what is needed. To weather the storm of uncertainty, we will not lower our sails, Mr. Speaker. Quite the opposite. We will raise them to catch the winds of economic change because we believe in Canada.
We will explore new markets and sell more of the best of what Canada has to offer.
We will build here at home stronger industries, nation-building infrastructures, and millions of more homes for Canadians. We will protect what matters most, our people, our communities, and our sovereignty. And we will empower Canadians by making life more affordable, creating new career opportunities, and ensuring every generation can get ahead. This is how we win. This is how we keep winning, Mr. Speaker. You're here.
When people look back on this budget, they will be able to judge the importance of the choices that we have made. Greater autonomy is and continues to be the best approach to achieve real resilience. It is in this spirit that, through Budget 2025, we are building Canada strong. Mr. Speaker, around the world, tariffs have increased. Growth is slowing, and trade relationships are being tested. All of these constraints are being felt across the country by Canadians in their daily lives. Families are seeing this every week when they do their groceries. Renters see it when they pay their rent. Young people are sending out their resumes, but they aren't receiving any offers as a result of their efforts. In factories, in the fields, and in communities across the country, people feel the current economic challenges. Workers are facing fewer shifts, shorter hours, and in some cases, unfortunately, layoffs.
Want to grow, but uncertainty is understandably making them wait. And for many, it feels like opportunity is slipping just a little further out of reach. That's why we need to act, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these are the realities Canadian workers and their families are facing. They are doing everything they can to keep moving forward in uncertain times. And through it all, the Canadian economy has held steady. Forecasters now expect modest GDP growth of just above 1% in 2025. C'est la résilience des Canadiens et des Canadiennes.
The resilience of Canadians is earning us the respect of our foreign partners. It is this same resilience that gives me confidence in the future. This very resilience also gives Canadians confidence in the future.
Trading partner fundamentally reshapes all of its trading relationship. There are two responses, Mr. Speaker. You can slash the deficit, hope for the best, wait for the uncertainty to unexpectedly disappear, and see if it trickles down, ever comes. That approach to balance the budget this year would have to eliminate vital social programs and all the capital investments needed for Canada's future. We chose a different path, Mr. Speaker, a path that believes in Canada, a path that invests in our country's future, a path that reinforces Canadian values, a path that makes us less resilient on our trading partner, a path that allows us to be master in our own house, Mr. Speaker. We chose Canada. We chose Canada. And I hope every member of this House will choose Canada as well, Mr. Speaker. I hope they will all choose Canada, parce que nous voulons tous et toutes être.
Because we all want to be masters of our own home, Mr. Speaker. We all believe in Canada, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, when our steel, aluminum, forestry, auto, and agriculture industries were hit by U.S. tariff and trade disruptions, we did not stand by and wait for the storm to pass. We stepped in with the most comprehensive set of trade resilience measures in Canadian history, because this is who we are as Canadians, Mr. Speaker. This is who we are. When times get tough, we stand together, because we are Canadian. The government launched the Strategic Response Fund that my colleagues have been leading, allocating $5 billion to help sectors impacted by tariffs to adapt, to diversify, and to grow. Businesses can use the fund to invest in the design of new products, retool plans to boost productivity, or offset the cost of accessing new markets, because we want our industry to succeed. We want them to be able to make this pivot, Mr. Speaker, because we believe in our workers, we believe in our industry, we believe in our future, we believe in Canada. Nous avons également mis en place un programme de liquidité.
We have also introduced a $1 billion liquidity relief package to help small and medium-sized businesses, because these businesses help our great country grow and they employ millions of Canadians. So this relief package will help businesses adapt, and it will include a new skills retraining program that will benefit 50,000 workers, Mr. Speaker. We believe that Canadian workers are at the very core of our strategy.
Which are probably wondering today, we will be there to help you increase your competitiveness within the Canadian market. Pour nos travailleurs de
To our aluminum workers, we will be there to help you modernize your smelters and to open up new markets.
To our auto workers, we will fight alongside you to keep our auto plants in Canada, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, tell that to Stellantis, man. So delusional.
And to our lumber and canola producers, we know the times are hard and we are working not only to restore your market access, Mr. Speaker, but to expand it. And the recent trip of the Prime Minister in Asia was one of them. We are going to work tirelessly to expand your market. We believe in you, we believe in your industry, and we will do what it takes to make sure that you can sell your products around the world.
These strategic sectors are at the forefront of this generational change. We will ensure they are strong, resilient, and ready to lead our economic transition from dependence to resilience.
We're going to move this economy, Mr. Speaker, to be more resilient. We're going to move from reliance to resilience, because we want Canada to succeed not only today, but for generations to come. We're going to move from uncertainty to prosperity, Mr. Speaker, because we understand that investing in Canada is the best way to ensure prosperity for generations to come. Le budget de 2025, Monsieur le Président,
Mr. Speaker, Budget 2025 is our response. It is for all Canadians. It is a plan for resilience. Budget 2025 is rooted in confidence, focused on results, and designed to ensure that Canada not only weathers this storm, but emerges even stronger from it.
The words of a previous finance minister, when in 1995 he presented his budget, and he said at the time, our very way of life as Canadians is being tested. And there are times in the progress of people when fundamental choices must be made and a new course charted. For Canada, Mr. Speaker, this is one of
our great country.
What the hell is going on? There's too
Prime
many people
Minister
trying to tune in to
has called on
watch
our
this.
country to look beyond today's challenges.
What the fuck? Excuse my language.
to come. Why? Because we believe in Canada, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister asked each of us to focus on what we can control and to take bold, ambitious action.
In the strength of Canadians, Mr. Speaker, I have confidence in our ability as a nation to meet the moment. I have confidence that together we can build Canada, protect our way of life, and empower Canadians like never before, because we believe in Canada, Mr. Speaker.
Hear, hear.
It is interesting to note, Mr. Speaker, and all Canadians who are watching and those with us today would know, Canada has what the world needs and what the world increasingly wants, Mr. Speaker. It goes from our product to our technology to our values. Mr. Speaker, Canada is inspiring the world. We are an energy superpower in both clean and conventional energy. Nous sommes l'un des principaux.
We are among the top producers of critical minerals and a world leader in artificial intelligence. We have unmatched market access, as we are the only country in the G7 with free trade agreements with every other G7 nation. We have the people, we have the resources, we have the stability necessary to prosper and to compete in the new economy before us. So, Canada enters this period of transformation from a position of strength.
Speaker, the world is changing, but Canada is strong. We're going to build Canada strong together. We're going to empower Canadians, and we're going to defend our sovereignty, Mr. Speaker. Canadians have done it before. We will do it again.
Is he done talking yet?
Canada also has the lowest net debt to GDP ratio in the G7, and the federal debt to GDP ratio will remain stable over the budget horizon. We also have one of the lowest deficits in the G7 and one of the strongest fiscal positions in the world. Yes, Mr. Speaker, we have a strong fiscal position, a strong base to work for, a strong base to invest, Mr. Speaker. And we must use this fiscal power to make generational investment because we believe in Canada. And as the managing director of the International Monetary Fund recently said, both Germany and Canada recognize that in this very testing time, they need to use their fiscal space. In the case of Canada, the Canadian authorities have been very decisive to take action in the context of changing relations with their main trading partner. Mr. Speaker, Canada is recognized on the world stage as a country with the fiscal capacity to invest, to grow its economy, to invest in its people, and to protect its sovereignty. That recognition matters because it affirms something fundamental about this country. When times are difficult, we do not retreat. We advance, we invest, Mr. Speaker, and that's what Budget 2025 is all about. Budget 2025 is a plan to catalyze investments from provinces, territories, municipalities, indigenous communities, and the private sector. With this plan, in 5 years, we will enable $1 trillion in total investment in this country, Mr. Speaker. Enable $1 trillion of investment.
What? Did you say trillion?
And I know, although the Conservatives are silent in their heart, they support that, Mr. Speaker, because I know that they will take the break week to go around and tell their constituent how great we're going to see this country and all the investment we're going to see. Hear, hear. And I know in their heart I can see them.
Canada is one of the best places in the world to invest, and we are going to make it even better. This fiscal strength allows us to make historic investments not only today, but also for future generations.
To Canadians who feel the strain of these times, our message is clear. We will not back down. We will be there for you now and for as long as it takes. We will do what Canadians do best in times of need. We look after one another. We help each other. That's the Canadian way. That's our way, Mr. Speaker.
Meeting this great challenge, Mr. Speaker, requires both ambition and discipline. We need to be ambitious in our investments and rigorous in our spending. And that's why this budget charts a new course for Canada's public finances. Because Canadians expect their government to achieve results. And to get there, we must spend less on operations so we can invest more in Canada's future. First, a new capital budgeting framework, separating our day-to-day spending from the investments that build our future. This reform will allow Canadians to better understand where their money goes, and it will ensure that each dollar helps strengthen our productivity.
Mr. Speaker, we will make capital investment a national priority.
Better budgeting also means presenting the budget at the best time. From now on, the federal budget will be presented in the fall, aligning with the construction season and better supporting provinces, municipalities, as well as contractors in the delivery of their project.
Build this country, and we have a lot to do, and we're going to do it together, Mr. Speaker. And what you see in this budget and in this Prime Minister is that we have a roadmap, Mr. Speaker, to build Canada strong. We understand that there's things we need to do on our side to make sure we can build like never before, and this is the plan to do it. Second, it's all about discipline. The Prime Minister has been clear. Canada's new government will spend less so we can invest more. Mr. Speaker, our budget puts forward $60 billion in saving over 5 years, Mr. Speaker. Canadians have been tightening their belt for quite some time, and it's only natural that we put our house in order as well. And we're going to make sure to the exercise we've done, Mr. Speaker, we found these savings, we did the hard work, we took the tough decision, but you know what? That's what Canadians expect from us. We have a strong mandate. They tell us, do what must be done. That's what we did, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to continue to do. So let me be clear. We are protecting the vital services. While we did that, Mr. Speaker, let me be very clear for all the Canadians watching at home. We are protecting the vital services that you rely on, including childcare, dental care, farmer care, because those are essential and vital for families across our nation. This is who we are as Canadians, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to remain true to our values.
And we are making responsible and pragmatic choices to reduce inefficiencies and focus government initiatives on our core priorities.
Called the Government Comprehensive Expenditure Review, we are focusing investment on initiatives that meet their objectives and complement rather than duplicate services delivered by other levels of government. Mr. Speaker, we have looked at how we can streamline programs, how we can right-size, how can we use technology, how can we use AI with one goal in mind to provide better service to Canadians, to be more efficient, because Canadians deserve the best service from their government, and we will deliver. Mr. Speaker, we will cut red tape, we will digitize services and make them faster, simpler, and easier to access.
We are encouraging the adoption of new technologies across government, including made in Canada sovereign AI tools, through a new digital transformation office. Because, Mr. Speaker, we understand the potential of this digital transformation, and Canada will be both a global leader in this and in service delivery.
A more effective government that can deliver smarter, faster, and more effective services to Canadians. Since 2019, the federal public service population has grown at a rate which is far greater than the Canadian population, Mr. Speaker. We must get the size of our public service back to a sustainable level that is keeping with best practices. But as we are, Mr. Speaker, we will do that with fairness and compassion because we appreciate the work of every civil servant in this country. We appreciate their service. We appreciate their work. We value their contribution to our country. And whilst we do that, Mr. Speaker, we will make our tax system fairer. Third, we need clear fiscal anchors to provide the predictability and clarity to the world and to Canadians. We will balance day-to-day operating spending with revenues by 2028, 2029, shifting the budget towards investments that grow the economy. Mr. Speaker, this is a pivotal moment in Canada's history. We're going to make sure that the dollar that people entrust in us will be invested to grow Canada. We will maintain a declining deficit to GDP ratio, ensuring that the discipline today while investing in our collective future.
The measures proposed in Budget 2025 put us on the right path to achieve our investment goals. Mr. Speaker, we will create a business environment that attracts an unprecedented flow of private capital into the energy, infrastructure, housing, and defense sectors. Mr. Speaker, this budget is one of investment, generational investment for this generation and future generations. Mr. Speaker, this is because we believe in Canada. Our investments will focus on our economic success and focus on productivity, because productivity means doing more with less, because that's the best way we can improve the lifestyles of Canadians. The 2025 budget will not only accelerate construction in housing and infrastructure, but across the country. It will also strengthen Canada's position as a fiscally competitive jurisdiction and one of the best places in the world to invest.
That is a great place to invest, but together with Budget 2025, we're going to make it even greater, Mr.
Oh. Again? Oh, no, there we go.
In short, Canada is the place to be. Canada is the place to invest. Canada is the place to grow, Mr. Speaker. And we're proud to serve Canadians. Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, budgets are not about doing everything. They're about what's necessary and doing it well. We're putting forward a firm, fair, and results-driven plan, the kind of reform Canadians are asking for and the kind that's always served our country well.
Plan will invest $280 billion over 5 years in capital to strengthen Canada's productivity, competitiveness, and resilience. Wow. On a cash basis, this is an historic investment of $450 billion, Mr. Speaker, in Canada.
Imagine clapping that you're blowing up your credit card. Like, you're just going way over the limit. Like, why is that something to clap for?
And we're going to do all that because we believe in Canada. We believe in Canadians. We believe in our workers. We believe in our future, Mr. Speaker.
These generational investments will drive growth in every region, Mr. Speaker, and create good middle-class jobs. The kind of jobs that allow young people and families to plan for the future with confidence.
Our generational investment will focus on 4 key priorities. Housing, to restore affordability and opportunity. Infrastructure, to connect Canadians and accelerate growth. Defense and security, to protect our sovereignty and our communities. Productivity and competitiveness, to lead and make Canada an innovation powerhouse, the innovation powerhouse of the 21st century. Il ne s'agit pas de...
And these are not abstract priorities. They are the foundations of a stronger, more ambitious and competitive Canada, because we believe in Canada. Mr. Speaker, our task now is to turn our fiscal strength into national purpose. For generations, together, Canadians have undertaken major projects that have connected our regions, energized our industries, and defined our identity. For more than 1 century, Mr. Speaker.
The Economy Act adopted last June continues that tradition, a very proud tradition. It removed barriers to internal trade, accelerate approvals for major projects, and strengthens the economic union that binds our province and territories together. We are completing the unfinished work of Confederation, Mr. Speaker. We are going to complete the unfinished work of Confederation, ensuring that wherever a product is made in Canada, it can be sold in Canada, where trade and opportunity flow freely across provincial lines. Mr. Speaker, this is about Canada. If you build something in one part of the country, you ought to be able to sell it across the country, because we believe in Canada. Bonne nouvelle,
Good news, our government won't stop there, but also launch the next generation of nation-building projects. Highways, airstrips, ports, electrical grids, and digital corridors will define the next century of Canadian growth. And thanks to these investments, we will connect regions, strengthen supply chains across the country, and create hundreds of thousands of high-paying jobs in every region of this big country.
Structure Fund, Mr. Speaker, will expand possibilities and opportunities like never before in Canada's north, Mr. Speaker. We should all be proud as Canadian. We're going to make historic investment in Canada's north. This is a great moment for the country. Infrastructure in communities all across Canada with the new Build Communities Strong Fund, Mr. Speaker. As we build million more homes, we'll need infrastructure like roads to build new neighborhoods. This fund will help build that. New neighborhoods will lead to new communities across our country that will want recreational and athletic center. This fund will help build that. Wow. And the new communities will need new hospital. This fund will help build that. This fund will build Canada strong. This fund will build our community strong. This fund will build Canada strong, Mr. Speaker. And something I'm very proud of, and I think the Prime Minister would join me in that, we will do all this by being our own best customer to the new Buy Canadian policy. It's about time that we put Canadian supplier first.
When the government buys, Canadian suppliers will be our first choice whenever possible. Full stop. Because we believe in Canada. We will use
steel made by our workers in Hamilton and Sault Ste. Marie. We
will use aluminum cast in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Bécancour, and Kitimat, and we will use softwood lumber cut in Thunder Bay, Prince George, and even in my region of Latuque.
Workers, we will support our country. We will support our industry. Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, I'll give you an example. Yesterday in St. Tite, a small rural city in my riding, I visited Boule Boots, a family business that has been making boots since 1933. I even had the opportunity to build part of the shoes that I'm proudly wearing today with the help of many skilled workers. A reminder of the craftsmanship and pride that make the Canadian manufacturing industry so strong. Mr. Speaker, the shoes I proudly wear today are the same ones worn by our CMP officers.
I know the Conservative would wish they would have a pair too. Mr. Speaker, these shoes have been made in Canada by Canadian for Canadians. That's the way to go, Mr. Speaker. That's how you build a Canada strong. C'est tout le sens.
And that's what Buy Canadian is all about. Good jobs, resilient communities, and pride in what we're building together.
It's all about good jobs. It's all about resilient communities in our cities and in rural communities across our nation. And this is about pride in what we build, pride in Canada, pride in our workers. That's how you build a strong country. Mr. Speaker, Canada has a legacy of builders. We are a nation of builders. That same spirit of building at home has defined Canada for generations. We have done this before. Back in 1945, just after the war, Canada had to do big things. A so-called, at the time, Minister of Everything, the great CDR bank on the boundless potential of Canada to make big change in our country. He was not afraid to bet big on Canadians. Neither we are, Mr. Speaker, because we believe in Canada. This budget is guided by the strong conviction that Canada must remain a nation of builders, of infrastructure and of innovation, of trust in public institutions and hope for generations to come. This nation knows how to build. We built the Canadian Pacific Railway in 1885, allowing our country to be connected from coast to coast and supporting trade across the prairies. We built the St. Lawrence Seaway, more recently in 1959, creating a deep water route from the Great Lakes to the Atlantic Ocean. Et plus récemment, nous avons construit les...
And recently, we built the James Bay Hydroelectric Facility in 1985, providing abundant clean energy to power Canadian industries and enabling Canada to become one of the world's top producers of renewable hydroelectric energy. Mr. Speaker.
Of Canada, that's why we want to build a Canada strong together. Each generation has taken on its share of the work and left the next generation stronger for it. We will do it again because we believe in Canada.
Hear, hear.
With planned investment of $115 billion in infrastructure over 5 years, we will meet the moment. That's what Canadians expect from their government. They know what's going on. They want us to meet the moment, and we'll meet that moment. And we will build the backbone of Canada's next economy. Our task is simple, but it's profound. To turn plans into projects, to turn projects into careers, and to turn careers into prosperity, Mr. Speaker. That's what we are committed to do. That's what we will do with Canadians across the nation. And to do so, we will do that in a way that protects our future, that also protects our nature, and also protect our core values. Building a true partnership with Indigenous people whose stewardship and knowledge of the land continue to guide us today. Because we do not just build for ourselves. Because we do not build just for ourselves, we build for those who will follow us. I'm often reminded of the 7th-generation principle. Rooted in Indigenous teachings, a reminder that every decision we take must consider its impact on future generations. Mr. Speaker, we will build Canada strong, but we will build with Canadian values. Mais un pays fort, Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, a strong country invests not only in its economy, but also in its identity. Over the past year, Canadians have shown what Canada is truly made of. When global uncertainty tested us, we looked to each other. People asked where their food was grown and chose to buy from local farmers and producers. Families traveled across the country and rediscovered its beauty from coast to coast to coast. Communities rallied around Canadian businesses, creators, and workers. That, Mr. Speaker, is what it means to be Canadian, to stand up for one another, to build together, and to take pride in what we make, grow, and create here at home. That is what it means to be Canadian, Mr. Speaker, and that is why we are here to defend Canada. We are a bilingual, diverse, and compassionate country, shaped by reconciliation, equality, and respect. Mr. Speaker, we believe in a strong Canada.
I think you've said that like
Mr.
9
Speaker,
times.
Our government is investing heavily to help Canadians get ahead.
I think this is something that speaks to everyone. Every young people in the country, every family around the country, everyone listening today. Canada faces a steep housing supply gap that has threatened affordability. And our minister has been doing great work to make sure we have more supply and continue to do so. We need to make sure that, Canadians across the nation can find a home. And because when they find a home, this is the best way to build their lives. And therefore, we want to be there for them. Budget 2025 is, Mr. Speaker, the most ambitious housing plan since the Second World War. This is what we're delivering for Canadians.
Holy smokes.
The moment calls for it, and we are meeting the moment, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister has been clear. We need to build in this country. We need to build faster. We need to build bigger. We need to build now. We need to build Canada strong. We have put in this budget record investment of $13 billion over 5 years in our flagship home building initiative, the Build Canada Homes. And I'm sure Canadians across the country understand that, because this will be making sure that we build at speed and scale that we have not seen in generations. And we will build, Mr. Speaker, we will double the pace of housing construction over the next decade while we create a new industry. When we will be using Canadian technology, Canadian workers, and Canadian lumber. We will use Canadian workers to build Canada with Canadian material. This is what we're going to do, Mr. Speaker, because we believe in Canada. And we will improve affordability and create careers in the skilled trades. Because as we build this country, Mr. Speaker, young people will see that the dream they have of home ownership will become within reach again. That's what we want to do for future generation. Because you know what? Every home built is a step toward a more affordable and a more confident Canada.
Mr. Speaker, affordability isn't just about housing. It's about making life easier for Canadians and reducing everyday costs while protecting the programs families depend on. Canadians elected us to take bold action to help them improve their quality of life quickly.
And we will continue to do. The very first thing that this Prime Minister did for Canadians was to cut tax for 22 million Canadians. That is the first thing we did.
22 million. 22 million. Yes.
That is the very first thing we did. And then we brought down gas prices by 18 cents per liter when we canceled the consumer carbon price.
Yes.
See, even the Conservatives are cheering, Mr. Speaker. And they should be cheering about that as well because we made permanent the National School Food Program, helping 100,000 children each year.
Make it stop.
I know in the heart they support it, Mr. Speaker. Hey, Monsieur le Président.
And Mr. Speaker, we launched automatic federal benefits, reaching 5.5 million low-income Canadians to ensure that no one gets left behind. We are going to strengthen competition in the telecommunications and banking sectors in order to drive down costs.
These are practical measures that make life more affordable today and build confidence in tomorrow. Because when Canadians can afford a home, when Canadians can raise a family, when Canadians can plan for the future, our entire country grows stronger. Because
prosperity is only meaningful when it's shared and when all Canadians can see themselves in the promise of this country.
Budget is that every Canadian should feel that there's something for them. Because it's not only about today, it's about future generation. It's about building for them. It's about making sure that we'll have a very strong country for generations to come. And as the Prime Minister has said, there can be no prosperity without security. Let me repeat, there can be no prosperity without security. And Mr. Speaker, in that vein, I am sure that every member, and I will look across the aisle and I look in the eyes of every member of this House, every member in this House would agree that we do need to protect our people, our communities, and our country. Every Canadian expects every member of this House to be there for them. When it comes to security and our sovereignty, Mr. Speaker, we all should be rising and defend what we're proposing. Because, Mr. Speaker, a confident nation that protects its sovereignty at home and its interests abroad through strength, stability, and partnership with allies, we share our values. This is what we're doing, Mr. Speaker.
And with $30 billion over 5 years, Budget 2025 represents the largest defense investment in decades.
Mr. Speaker, yes, let's share our people. I have even more good news, Mr. Speaker. We will meet our 2% NATO commitment this year. We will modernize NORAD. We will reinforce our Arctic defense. And we will equip our brave men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces with the infrastructure and technology that they need to safeguard our nation.
Oh my God, he's putting me to sleep.
And we will do that because we believe in Canada. With our new Defense Investment Agency and Defense Industrial Strategy, we will build up Canada's defense industry, strengthening Canadian businesses and supporting Canadian workers and creating good union jobs, Mr. Speaker, across our country. Our work on defense will strengthen Canadian Research Centre. It will strengthen Canadian communities in the North, working with our Inuit and First Nation partners across our country by building dual-use infrastructure like ports and runways to make sure that every community, when we invest, can benefit, Mr. Speaker. Notre plan va créer de
Our plan will create new jobs for engineers, technicians, and scientists in sectors like aerospace, shipbuilding, cybersecurity, and AI. We're going to hire 1,000 new Border Services officers and 1,000 new RCMP officers to secure our borders and keep our communities safe. Finally, by investing in law enforcement and justice reform, we will tackle organized crime, gun violence, and auto theft. We're also going to invest and continue with passion and determination, as my colleague, the minister responsible, is doing, the important work with the provinces and territories to end gender-based violence. My colleague is working hard on that. And we are going to support her. We are going to keep supporting her.
Because every Canadian should feel safe, Mr. Speaker. And I want to commend the leadership of my colleague. She's extraordinary. She knows who she is, but I cannot pronounce her name in the House. But she knows who she is because she's been there and leading the way, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that, we invest and that we continue the important work.
Oh, what the hell? Good. I kind of wanted him to stop talking.
She is because she's been there and leading the way, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that, we invest and that we continue the important work across our nation.
As we strengthen our security partnerships, it's essential that we also deepen our economic partnerships. In order to build a stronger future, we have to increase trade, innovate faster, and play a leadership role in clean and conventional energy. Mr. Speaker, trade has always been one of Canada's strengths, connecting our population, our resources, and our industries to the rest of the world. But too much of that trade depends on a single partner.
We are launching a trade diversification strategy supported by a Trade Diversification Corridors Fund to expand Canada's reach, double our overseas export within a decade, which will unlock $300 billion in new opportunities for Canadian business and Canadian workers. This is good news if you're a small and medium-sized business. This is good news if you're an exporter. This is good news because now you see we're going to expand our market. We're going to bring what Canada has to offer to the world.
We are going to strengthen ports, railways, and ports of entry. We will reduce bottlenecks, and we will open faster routes to global markets. Because when Canadian businesses are competitive and successful abroad, Canadian workers and communities prosper right here at home.
Mr. Speaker, Canada, I think we can agree on, all of us can agree on that, is the best place to live. Canada is the best place to live. And it's the reason why top talent from around the world want to come here. Attraction strategy of more than $1.7 billion, we will make sure that the best and brightest continue to choose Canada to innovate.
Oh my God. I'm not even mad that it keeps skipping. The more I can stop listening to him talk, the less my ears are going to bleed.
This is how you build a Canada strong, Mr. Speaker, by making a generational investment of $115 billion over 5 years in measures that will drive productivity and competitiveness. We will supercharge growth in Canada and become the strongest economy in the G7 because we believe in Canada. Let me me be clear to all the Canadians watching at home tonight. Productivity is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about working smarter. It's about how well we mobilize ideas, how well our workers, and how well we can mobilize workers, investment, and innovation to generate growth. It's what drives up the wages in our country, improves living standard, and strengthens public services, Mr. Speaker. Pendant trop longtemps,
For too long, Canada's productivity has been lagging, a challenge we can and must overcome.
intelligence will be the defining technology of our time, just like electricity was in the last century. L'intelligence artificielle va jouer un rôle.
AI will play a key role, along with quantum and other advanced technologies, to put Canada on a path of sustained growth.
It's the very first country in the world to have an AI national strategy and an AI quantum strategy. We know how to lead. We have some of the best researchers, and some of them have won even Nobel Prize, Mr. Speaker. We have the brain, we have the capacity, we have the will. We will lead, Mr. Speaker, because we believe in Canada. Productivity and innovation powerhouse, Mr. Speaker, through a number of measures. The first is our productivity super deduction to create the right climate for businesses to invest in new machinery, equipment, and technology. A bold expansion of projects of national interest in artificial intelligence, in clean technology, and in advanced manufacturing. We will turn Canadian innovation into industrial strength. And we will enhance tax incentives for Canadian builders to conduct research and development in this country and make it seamless for them to apply to these essential tax credits that will drive innovation and productivity. Mr. Speaker, this budget 2025 is about productivity and competitiveness. This is about a roadmap for Canada to be the place to invest. It's already great. We're going to make it greater together. Obviously, budget can seem, and numbers in budget can seem a bit abstract for people watching and wondering what it means to them. But let me make it very concrete. As I said earlier, this budget will unleash $1 trillion in total investment over the next 5 years. That would boost average wage in Canada by some $3,000 a year, Mr. Speaker. That's what it means for workers. That's what it means for families. That's what it means for Canadians. It would add $15 billion to federal revenues that can support healthcare, lower your taxes, and pay down Canada's debt. We chose Canada. We will make Canada strong because we believe in Canada. Throughout our history, Mr. Speaker, we have opened our doors to the world. We have always welcomed those fleeing the most difficult situations, those who seek to study at our world-class universities, and those willing to share their expertise and drive innovation in Canada. Those who wanted to contribute to Canada. Mr. Speaker, we are taking back control over the immigration system and putting Canada on a trajectory to bring immigration back to sustainable levels, allowing us to fulfill the promise of Canada to those who call it home. Our plan will restore control, will provide clarity and consistency to the immigration system while maintaining compassion in our choices and driving competitiveness in our economy. Notre plan va permettre d'assurer un meilleur contrôle.
Our plan will restore control over our immigration system while maintaining an approach based on our Canadian values.
Competitiveness. L'action climatique n'est pas seulement une obligation.
Climate action is more than just a moral duty. It is economically necessary. In order to foster competitiveness and growth, we must be a leader in the low-emission economy. Our climate competitiveness strategy turns Canada's natural wealth, like our critical minerals and clean energy, into lasting prosperity. Reducing our emissions is essential to protecting the competitiveness of Canada's energy sectors. We are introducing a comprehensive suite of clean economy investment tax credits, measures that are already generating billions of dollars in private capital for projects in hydrogen, carbon capture, and clean electricity.
Mr. Speaker, Canada is the place to invest, but we understand also that this is not only the right thing to do, but it's the smart thing to do. And I want to commend the work of my colleagues who have been leading the effort on that. Because these investments will allow us to modernize our networks, they will allow us to have projects of national interest, and they will also make sure that we connect Canada with our electricity network. Monsieur le Président, en devenant un chiffre de fil mondial.
Mr. Speaker, by becoming a global leader in clean technology and clean energy, Canada can strengthen its competitive advantage, and Canada can also help our industries thrive in the global economy.
Talk about our youth, Mr. Speaker, because our youth is the future of this nation. Nous avons au Canada les travailleurs les plus
In Canada, we have the most skilled and talented workers, as well as the most educated workforce in the world. We can all be very proud of that.
And I know my colleague joined me. We know that it's because of the talent, the expertise, the dedication of our workers that Canada wins. They are the best worker in the world. That's why you see investment. Every day they go to work. And obviously, Mr. Speaker, it's thanks to their service, their service to our nation, their talent, that we can succeed, and we will continue to work with them to make Canada the place to invest. Le budget 2025
Budget 2025 expands learning, training, and growth opportunities for young people. Budget 2025 creates new pathways for careers in construction, in clean energy, and in advanced manufacturing. It is essential that we give the next generation the confidence and skills needed to succeed.
Speaker, when we talk about youth and the future generation, I think every member in this House should pay attention, because they are the future of our country. Through a suite of new measures, we will extend union training, extend the tax credit to personal support workers who have been doing work, and they're always there for our people, and enhance labor mobility. Mr. Speaker, Canadian workers will drive Canada's economic transformation with new skills and training, and they will seize the exciting and high-paying careers and good union jobs that it will create. In the words of the Canadian Labour Congress, these measures signal a shift towards putting workers at the heart of Canada's economic strategy. We should all be proud, Mr. Speaker. Workers will always be at the heart of our economic strategy. This is how we give Canadians the tool they need to shape the future. This is how we build Canada strong. En conclusion, Monsieur le Président.
To conclude, Mr. Speaker, the budget that I am tabling today is our framework for Canada's future. It is a roadmap to prosperity and resilience.
It all comes down to a choice between two visions. One vision of resignation, a vision that would scale back the vital support Canadians rely on, make it harder for families to find a home, and leave our country more vulnerable, poorer, and dependent. And another vision, one rooted in confidence in Canadian, and in the belief that by making generational investments today, we can build lasting prosperity for tomorrow. By putting more money in people's pocket, by ensuring every Canadian can retire with dignity, by making the dream of home ownership a reality once again, by building the infrastructure our city needs to grow, by keeping our community safe for our children and our parents. That is the path we choose, Mr. Speaker. Right, that is the path of Budget 2025.
Yes.
I see even smile on the other side, Mr. Speaker. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. Budget 2025 makes our choice clear. We choose confidence over resignation. We chose to empower Canadians to build this country together and protect what we hold dear. Monsieur le Président, il s'agit d'une question.
Mr. Speaker, this is about confidence in ourselves, in our capacity to adapt, and in the promise of this great country.
That builds, protect, and empower. It's about moving from reliance to resilience and from uncertainty to prosperity. Let's seize the moment. Let's build Canada strong because we are and will always be the true north, strong and free. Vive le Canada!
Oh, thank you. He's done. Oh, man, in over an hour. I was starting to fall asleep. Holy smokes. I feel like you could have wrapped that up in 5 minutes.
Questions and comments. The Honourable Member for Calgary East. Calgary. Questions and comments. Questions and comments.
MP Halland.
Joliette Manawan.
The member for Joliette Manawan.
No?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Minister of Finance for his speech. It was as long as a speech by Fidel Castro would have been. Now, the minister says that this is a generational budget. When we read the budget, we see that there will be $115 billion spent on infrastructure, but then when you really get into the numbers, there won't even be $2 billion in new infrastructure spending per year, despite the fact that the deficit is incredibly high. Is this what he means by generational investment? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honourable Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, I have the utmost respect for my colleague. My answer is yes, of course this is a generational investment budget. I know that Quebecers are watching. And for the first time, Mr. Speaker, through our infrastructure fund, there will also be funding earmarked for health infrastructure. That's something that Quebec has asked us for. They asked us to invest in healthcare, in clinics, and in hospitals, so that every Quebecer and every Canadian can have access to modern infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. We have answered Quebec's call. We have answered the call of Quebecers. We're doing what Canadians have asked for. Mr. Speaker, our infrastructure investment plan is generational. It will make our communities stronger, and we should all be very proud of that, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member for Calgary East.
The Liberals have sacrificed the future of young Canadians. The deficit is a massive $80 billion this year. More inflation, higher costs. The Prime Minister...
From the top, man. Come on.
The Honourable Member for Calgary East from the top, please.
Numbers don't lie, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals have sacrificed the future of young Canadians. The deficit is a massive $80 billion this year. More inflation, higher costs. The Prime Minister promised he would spend less and again broke his promise and is spending more. He's forcing young Canadians to sacrifice more so he can spend more. After 10 years of this Liberal government, housing costs have doubled. Food bank usage has doubled. Youth employment is the lowest it's been in 25 years. The cost on the interest of this government's debt is more than GST revenues or what goes to provinces in healthcare transfers. And today, the finance minister had a choice to make. Food prices could have came down. They could have been cheaper, but again, he refused to do this. The Liberals kept in place their industrial carbon tax, their food packaging tax, the clean fuel standard, and added $18 billion of inflationary fuel to the fire. Why did the finance minister leave in place Liberal hidden food taxes and force higher food costs on single mothers, seniors, and young Canadians?
Honorable Ministre des
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, we made a clear choice. We chose Canadian, Mr. Speaker. That is the thing. I know the budget has many pages. Maybe my colleague missed a chapter, Mr. Speaker. But let me help him because we have a bit of time. Mr. Speaker, we made the choice to invest in Canadians. We made the choice to protect and build our communities. We made the choice to invest in our young people. We made the choice to invest in our worker. We made the choice to invest in housing. We made the choice to invest in infrastructure. We made the choice to invest in productivity and competitiveness. We made the choice to invest in our defense, Mr. Speaker. And I hope that they will see and their concern will be watching. Will they make the choice to invest in Canadians as well? On this side of the House, the answer is clear, Mr. Speaker. We will take no lessons from the Conservative, but we'll take lessons from history.
L'honorable député de Richmond-Arthabasca.
The Honourable Member for Richmond-Arthabasca. Mr. Speaker, even ratings agencies are now sounding the alarm. For the first time in 30 years, do you know what, Mr. Speaker? Quebec's credit rating has been downgraded. Why? Because investment spending is beyond what Quebecers can afford. Do you know what else? This Liberal government is doing exactly the same thing, with capital spending beyond the ability of what Canadians can pay for. This government has already swiped our children's credit cards, our grandchildren's credit cards, and now even our great-grandchildren's credit cards. After 10 years of Liberal deficits, the Liberals have mortgaged the future of an entire generation. Canadians have had enough. Young people have lost hope. How long will this government continue to dig itself deeper into debt on the backs of our children to finance its inflationary spending?
L'honorable Ministre des Finances.
The Honourable Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, all right. Let's give them a chance to understand what we're saying. There is a difference between operating expenditures and investment, and he should be happy. Everyone should be happy that we will be investing in infrastructure. There may even be investments in health infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. The plan we are putting forward today is an investment plan. It is a generational, once-in-a-generation budget, once-in-a-generation investment. Mr. Speaker, we hope that Canadians tuning in at home understand that we need to invest in our prosperity for the future. We need to invest in our young people, in our workers, in our industries, and in Canada. We must invest in Canada because on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we believe in Canada. The Honourable Member for Repentigny. Since this government has been in office, they have backtracked on all sorts of climate engagement. There's no more money for EVs. They're investing in pipeline projects, liquefied natural gas projects. They told us that we would have a climate competitiveness strategy. There's only $189 million in the budget, and only a small bit of that is for critical minerals. So there's only $4 million left for their climate strategy. Are they quite literally giving up the fight against climate change? The Honourable Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, I understand that there's a lot of information in the budget. It's a lot for my colleague to read today. There is an entire chapter on climate competitiveness because, Mr. Speaker, we know that that's the right thing to do, but also the smart thing to do. My colleague will be happy to read it. I'll let him read the budget tonight. There is also investment for clean technology. On this side of the House, we know full well that we can build a strong, low-emissions economy. Mr. Speaker, this budget meets that challenge. We're here for this generation and future generations. We are investing in Canadian industry. The Honourable Member for Rosemont-La Petite Patrie. Mr. Speaker, Quebecers and Canadians are living through an unemployment crisis. There is a historic high in unemployment rates, especially for young people. Yet, this government wants to cut 40,000 public servants. Those are good unionized jobs, good jobs for Canadians with families, and the Liberals want to cut those jobs. Each of those public servants are providing services to Canadians and to Quebecers who need those services. During the election, the Prime Minister promised that he would cap the number of people employed by the public service, but not cut positions. Why is the Liberal government breaking its promise and cutting good jobs and services at a time when people need them the most?
Does that mean you're not going to support it?
The Honourable Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, I thank my colleague for his question. I would like to reassure all public servants that we believe that they are doing an incredible job. Let us all applaud them. These are Canadian men and women who go to work to serve Canadians. We appreciate their work. We value their work. Mr. Speaker, our plan will bring the public service back down to a more sustainable size. We will do so in a caring and cautious way. Most of these jobs will be lost through attrition, Mr. Speaker. Tonight, families in Ottawa can sleep soundly. We're here for them. Thank you.
Halton Hills North.
Mr. Speaker, the last budget of 2 years ago had a fiscal anchor of a deficit of less than 1% of GDP in future years and constantly declining debt to GDP ratio. Budget of 2 years ago had a fiscal anchor of a deficit of less than 1% of GDP in future years and constantly declining debt to GDP ratios in subsequent years. This budget has a fiscal anchor of deficits averaging 2% of GDP over the next number of years and a rising debt to GDP ratio. Will the Finance Minister confirm that his fiscal anchor is weaker than the last Finance Minister's fiscal anchor?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for my colleague, but he might have noticed that the world has changed, Mr. Speaker, and this is a new government. And Mr. Speaker,
We have 30 seconds left. The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Let me repeat that because I know they like to hear it. Canada has the strongest fiscal position in the G7, Mr. Speaker. Not only we said it, but the director of the International Monetary Fund said Canada and Germany stand out, Mr. Speaker. We have the fiscal capacity to invest. We're going to build this country. We're going to protect this nation. We're going to build Canada strong together.
That concludes the debate time, I believe.
Resuming debate, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Okay, here we go. Get him, Pierre. Get him, baby.
Mr. Speaker, I congratulate the Minister for presenting his first budget speech, but he spoke for quite some time. And given this Liberal government is adding almost $10 billion to our national debt every hour, it must be the most expensive speech in the history of this Parliament.
Minister for his first budget speech. It was a very long speech, and given that this government is adding about $10 million to our national debt every single hour, I think we can say that while talk is cheap, it's very expensive when a Liberal finance minister does it.
Every dollar that the government spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians, and the more they spend, the more things cost. And that's why the Liberals doubled the cost of housing and lineups at food banks. And that's why we wanted an affordable budget for a more affordable Canada.
This government is the most expensive in Canadian history. Every dollar the Prime Minister spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians. The more they spend, the more things cost. And that's why Conservatives were calling for an affordable budget, for an affordable life, after Liberals doubled the cost of housing and doubled the lineups at our food banks.
Today, the Liberals have introduced the most costly deficit in the history of our country outside of COVID. It will generate higher costs for groceries, housing, and for everything else.
The Liberals have introduced the most costly and largest budget deficit in history outside of COVID. The cost of this Liberal budget will drive up the cost of food housing, and everything else that Canadians buy. And the Prime Minister has broken every single promise he made just 7 short months ago. He promised a $62 billion deficit. He delivered nearly an $80 billion deficit, $16 billion bigger than he promised and twice the size that his predecessor left behind. He promised to lower the debt to GDP ratio. He raised it, and inflation along with it. He promised to spend less. He's spending $90 billion more, costing $5,400 per family in Canada. And that $90 billion, to the Prime Minister's heckles, is above and beyond the promised $16 billion that he says he will one day find. And if he doesn't find them, it will be over $100 billion in brand new spending to respond to the Prime Minister's heckles, Mr. Speaker. He also promised that he would invest more. His own budget document lays out a graph showing that every quarter of this year will see private sector business investment collapse. This costly budget forces Canadians to spend more on debt interest than on health care transfers. More than the government collects in GST. That means every dollar the Canadians pay in GST will go to bankers and bondholders instead of to doctors and nurses. All while he raises the industrial carbon tax on farm equipment and fertilizer and therefore food, on steel, concrete, and other industrial projects needed to build homes, a big tax increases on homes and food. Donc, on nom.
So, on behalf of Canadians who are already paying too much for the cost of this Liberal government to heat themselves, house themselves, and feed themselves, Conservatives will not be able to support this budget.
Instead, our party wanted an affordable budget for an affordable life. And on behalf of all the Canadians who can no longer afford to eat, heat, or house themselves because of Liberal inflation, we Conservatives cannot support this costly Liberal budget.
Here, here. We need NDP. We need Bloc to do the same.
But there is still time for the Prime Minister to do the right thing. We will put forward an amendment that will transform this policy by making Canada affordable again. It will get rid of the industrial carbon tax, cut the wasteful spending to bring down debt, inflation, and taxes. It will open our country up to opportunity by developing our prodigious resources, clear away bureaucracy to build affordable homes.
We want the Prime Minister to accept our amendment to make life more affordable for Canadians, to make their paychecks stronger and our economy more independent. That's the approach we're going to propose. We're proposing an economy that's more affordable for our young people, that is safer for our seniors, and that protects Canada's promise for everyone who works hard.
Full future. For our young people, we want homes, jobs, and hope. For our seniors, we want affordability. And we want for all Canadians who work hard to bring back the promise of Canada. Thank you very much. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move, second by the member for Edmonton Gateway, that the debate be now adjourned. Thank you.
That would adjourn the House as well, because I believe they're done for today after that.
Mr. Poilievre, seconded by Mr. Upal, moves that the debate be now adjourned. Pursuant to Standing Order 83-2, the motion is deemed adopted and the House stands adjourned until tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pursuant to Standing Order 24-1. Thank you.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll be live for question period, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can expect it's going to be spicy. Carney's going to be here, Pierre's going to be here, and now that everybody gets some time to digest the budget and actually read other provisions that are in it, we already have a good idea of what's in it, but this way we can actually nitpick it. It's going to be a spicy question period tomorrow. We'll also be covering committee in the afternoon after question period. The Bank of Canada governor is going to be in the Finance Committee. And obviously, this being a very financial week, it's going to be a pretty good committee there, too. His objective is a little bit more monetary rather than fiscal, but he has a very good opinion on fiscal spending. So that was a long stream. We've been live for 3.5 hours. Thanks, everybody, for watching and staying around for this long. I didn't want to listen to the speech that long, but we did anyway. We got through it. Thank you, Cindy Wilson, for the super chat. Wanda Hall, Hubris, Singh, Just Me Nicole multiple times. Thank you so much. Keeler in Canada, really appreciate you guys with the super chats. Gordon Meir, I know you're not here anymore. Just Me Nicole as well with the memberships. All you guys, Megan Bartlett, all you guys with the extra support on the channel is really, really helpful. Just tuning in and watching is great, but the extra support really goes a long way. Thank you so much, guys. When is the vote? The vote should be on Thursday. If it won't, it'll be the following week after because they're off next week. So it would be the week of the 17th. But I assume we'll probably get a challenge on Thursday. And we need the NDP and Bloc to vote with Conservatives. So I think the NDP, it's basically just on the NDP. We know Bloc and Conservatives have already publicly said they're not going to vote with the budget. We just need NDP to find some leverage and get in there. But yeah, we're going to call it here, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time question period, and then we've got 4:30 p.m. for the committee. Oh, Prophet, thanks for joining in the club there last minute. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys, and cheers.